And welcome to Coors Field in lower downtown Denver. Tonight, the Rockies take on the Washington Nationals. Game 2 of this 4-game set. Game 2 of a 10-game homestand. Welcome again, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. Last night did not go the Rockies' way. Aaron Cook had a rare hiccup, and the Rockies fell 9-4 despite jumping out to a 3-0 lead. You expect the offense to get going all summer long here at Coors Field. They have been outstanding. And one of the guys who's been in the middle of the storm offensively kind of falls beneath the radar, at least for me, George Frazier, and that is Brad Hopp.
Well, I think the reason he was beneath the storm was because he was hitting 6th in the lineup. He didn't have a lot of RBI opportunities. Then all of a sudden he gets moved into the 4th slot and big numbers started to follow. When you have Garrett Atkins behind you, Holiday in front of you, you're going to get a lot of fastballs to hit, and the numbers prove it. 397 average, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs after the break. Everything has jumped. And you think about a starting pitcher on the opposition saying, all right, I've been able to get by Holiday. Here's Hopp. I don't want to face Atkins with guys on. You get that good fastball early and often in the count, and you make him pay for it. He's done that.
Absolutely, and we showed numbers from the All-Star break. I want to take you back even further than that. He came off the disabled list with the hamstring injury on June 6th. So basically, in 2 months period of time, he is among the league leaders in slugging percentage, RBIs, home runs, all the things you expect Brad Hopp to do. He has been terrific, and hopefully he'll have another big night tonight and help lead the Rockies to a victory. It is Tuesday night. It is not only email the booth night tonight, it is email the truck tonight. We're going to have some fun. Rockies and Nationals, come on back to Coors Field with us.
Here at this modern-day watering hole, this urban Serengeti, it's man meets reptile.
So, Lucy, what are you doing?
Just a little online shopping.
You should check out Geico.com, get a free rate quote. If you like what you see, you can buy it online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
Cool.
Remarkable. Oh, no. Help! Did you hear something?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Two most. Man, that's a good beer.
Lots of flavor.
Yeah, but it goes down easy.
It's from Canada. It is beautiful up there.
Well, it's like a postcard.
Good people, too.
Yeah, just good people living in that beautiful landscape, making this incredibly tasty beer.
That's poetic. Pass the peanuts.
Sure.
With a big taste and a nice finish. Molson Canadian, an honest brew.
Baseball coverage brought to you by LG. LG, life's good.
The Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. I'm State Treasurer Carrie Kennedy. To find out if you have unclaimed funds, log on to our website or call 1-800-825-2111.
Hi, Drew Goodman for Shortline Subaru. If you're in the midst of looking for a new car, listen to this. Head on down to Shortline Subaru, ranked one of the top 10 Subaru dealers in the nation. They're not your typical car guys, and I promise you, you'll notice what I'm talking about as soon as you walk through the doors.
Hey everybody, Tim Ring, Mark Stout at the Chevy Sports Desk. A reminder, FSN Live coming up after Rockies baseball. Did you see Prince Fielder Monday night go after a teammate in the Brewers dugout?
Did I ever? He's 5'11", 270, even though he's a vegetarian. He's eating a lot of salads going after Manny Parra, who weighs about 80 pounds less than him. I don't know what's going to happen with the Brewers after this, but I'm sure there's going to be something within the team.
They're starting to melt down. We'll see you after the game, everybody.
The best sports coverage is on FSN Rocky Mountain, and we're glad to have the Rocky Mountain News as part of our team. Tracy Ringlesby.
Everything that Crosby can do, Tulowitzki's better.
Sam Adams.
I think tomorrow night's a very important night for Jeff Francis to kind of set the tone.
Dave Krieger.
We saw John as very human, and we saw Patrick as almost a deity.
The coverage you've come to expect from your regional sports leader. The best sports coverage is on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Southwest. With Southwest Airlines, fees don't fly with us. Visit southwest.com today. By Dex, your complete up-to-date source for local information. Dex knows. And by Denver Toyota. Toyota, moving forward. We're about set to go. There's Manny Acta, 39-year-old skipper of the Washington Nationals in his second season. And here is his Southwest Airlines batting order tonight. He'll have Emilio Bonifacio up top. He was good last night. Willie Harris had 3 RBIs, including a home run last night. Ryan Zimmerman, healthy enough to go. He'll be at third base. At Kearns, Millage, Flores, who's been great. Belliard at first base, Langerhans in left. And John Lannon, the southpaw pitcher. And the first pitch of the ball game from Jorge De La Rosa is in there for a strike. And boy, does he ever need to bounce back after a real subpar outing.
Yeah, he had a very subpar outing, and he's had a couple of good ones prior to that. He pitched well here at Coors Field. I think that's the key to him, is to pound the strike zone, do it with his fastball early. Flash 95 with the last fastball.
0-2 on Emilio Bonifacio.
Yeah, the opposition's not really crushing the ball against him. 267 overall average with nobody on base. It's just when he gets traffic, a lot of things start to seem to go the other way with it. And having that put-away pitch, runners on, 328, scoring position near 400.
You know, we always talk about the mental side with hitters, George, dealing with the failure. You know, you're a great hitter. If you hit 300, that means you're failing 7 out of 10 times. We rarely talk about it from a pitching standpoint, but it applies there also.
It absolutely does. You're exposed throughout the ball game, in a series, in the games, in the innings you pitch, in the season. The opportunities for hitters to have that success against you. I think you just limit a lot of things for Clinton at this ball club if you go out and get the first batter out in the inning. That's a big number for me. When guys go out and retire in first batter's face, it just stops the opposition from a lot of different avenues to put runs on the board.
Looked like he went around. Yeah, he did. Tim McClellan at first said that is a swing. So Bonifacio is gone, 1 out in the first.
And they tried to check the swing. I just thought he advanced it too far out in front of the plate, and Tim McClellan agreed with him. Quickest call he's made in a while. The Fidelity Scouting Report. I just did that for you, Drew. 15th start for him. Strike one's the important thing. He had the ability to do that. Bonifacio, the breaking ball command, one of the two, either curveball or slider, has to be in the strike zone for him to have success.
And he overmatches Willie Harris with that fastball. Willie's at shortstop tonight. He played third last night. Now with Zimmerman back in there, he'll slide over, and Alberto Gonzalez takes a seat tonight. And that looked to be at the knees. I guess it was a little bit south of that. So it's 1-1.
On the next strike zone, take a look at this pitch to see exactly where this was.
Oh, that's in a strike zone. Can we go down there and petition Mike Everett to change the call?
Well, I think what we'll do is put a little monitor right over here, and then he can just glance at when he wants to. You know, the wind ought to hang this thing up. A little bit of storm swirling around. Look at the fight the wind, fight the movement of the baseball. The flags aren't moving a lot, but there's a lot of wind coming out of that left field corner.
When you see the legs start to stagger and go in 2 different directions at one time, you know the wind is blowing. Matt Holliday, nice catch. And foul ground, 2 outs. Here's the gloves tonight behind De La Rosa, presented by Toyota. Holliday, Willie Taveras back in center field, Brad Hops in right. Barmes over at third base against the lefty. Tulowitzki at short, Jeff Baker's at second, Garrett Atkins at first, and again Ionetta has the gear on. Here's Ryan Zimmerman. He's battled a ton of injuries this year.
Well, I asked Don Sutton, too. As I said, your new ballpark, a hitter's park, pitcher's park. And he said, you know, if you keep it off the lines, you've got a chance to not give up a lot of home runs. Unfortunately for their ball club, they're not going to hit a lot of home runs.
This is pop foul out of play. Zimmerman's hit well in his career against Colorado, a .355 average. Here's the 0-2. Fastball's up and away. He's working at 95. You'll hear George and I use that term from time to time. And you also hear once in a while George will say he touches 96 or 97 or something along those lines. And what we're talking about there is that a guy will top out. When we say he touches, he tops out at a certain speed. What he works at is where he's frequently throwing his fastball. And so far in the game, George, De La Rosa early is working around 95.
Yeah, 95, just airing it out and letting it fly, which is good. I mean, that is one of the good things behind it. Try to go with a change up here, get the strikeout.
And he did. Wow, very impressive first inning for Jorge De La Rosa. A couple of punch outs. So we'll see the Rockies on 0 when we come back to Coors Field.
Check this out. With this controller, your character will mimic your exact motions. See?
Sweet.
Now throw me a pitch, just like we're outside.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Denver to select cities in California for just $89 one way, with no tricky fees for stuff that should be free.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time to get an amazing deal on a new Camry. With Toyota Camry's low cost of ownership, reputation for legendary quality and reliability, not to mention its remarkably fuel-efficient 31 miles per gallon highway rating. It's no wonder Camry has been the #1 selling car in America for 10 out of the last 11 years. Hurry in. The Toyota National Clearance Event ends soon.
Tigers, we watch over our own. America's injury lawyers who ride.
No score. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and let's check in with Alana Rizzo in the truck tonight. Alana?
Yeah, Drew, actually I'm outside the truck because so many people wanted to see outside the truck. Remember, it's email the booth and email the truck night. Any question you have about the telecast, broadcasting, the technology on how it all works, you can email us and we'll try to answer it for you the best we can. I am actually standing outside of our truck. This is the large garage where we park our television truck, and this is not your ordinary truck, people. This is huge. It's 53 feet long, 13 feet 3 inches high, and it expands to 13 feet 6 inches. It is a very large truck. So if you want to find out what's inside the truck, you're going to have to follow me, and we'll be doing that a little bit later on. But you can email your questions to Rocky's booth at msn.com. Include your name, phone number, and your hometown. You'll be entered to win a chair, just like the cushy ones that George and Drew get to sit in every single night. So email us. I'm going to go ahead and go in and answer as many questions as you can. So get them coming. Rocky's booth at msn.com.
All right, Alana, thanks very much. You don't see the actual the truck that drives it, you know, the cab, George?
The tractor.
The tractor, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Tractor trailer.
Tractor.
See, that's why they call them tractor
trailer. I was couldn't remember that term.
Avoid on the highway.
One time, this many years ago, and I think you may have been with me. Remember we used to do the junior college tournament?
Yeah. I rode in the truck.
That's a Toyota.
It's a little bigger than that Toyota truck, but yeah.
Well, remember we used to go over and do the Junior College World Series. Here's the 1-2. That's upstairs. I got to drive back once because I had an early flight the next day out of Denver, and I came back in the cab many years ago and slept in the sleeper. It was a great thrill. I slept like a baby.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Here's a
nice
2-2.
little air ride back there.
Slowly hit to Bonifacio, and he'll throw out Willie Taveras. So John Lannon able to retire Willie Taveras. Let's take a look at the rest of the Southwest Airlines batting order tonight for Clint Hurdle. Jeff Baker is in the 2-hole tonight. Matt Holliday 3. Garrett Atkins cleanup. Chris Ionata batting 5th. Brad Hopp against the lefty will be in the 6th spot. Troy Tulowitzki last 4 ball games was hitting 2nd. And now he drops to 7th. Barmas will bat in the 8-hole in front of De La Rosa. Baker won for his last 17. But at Coors Field, he has been on fire. Coors Field this year hitting .341. Last homestand he was hitting over .500 when he left for Cincinnati. And this is at Zimmerman, who has a lot of range, and he makes the easy toss to Ronnie Belliard.
Let's look at the Fidelity scouting report tonight. And again, this is his 22nd start. He's been very efficient out on the road. He'll make you hit him to beat him. He's not a guy that's going to walk a lot of people. He's a 4-pitch mix. When he's behind in the count, he'll throw a lot of those BP fastballs, 83, 84, get your ground ball outs. As a matter of fact, he is 4th in the National League in road earned run average behind Lincecum, All-Star, Volquez, All-Star, Webb All-Star at 2.57.
You know what, you look at his record and you say 4-5, okay, on the road, not bad considering he's playing for a team that's 28 games below 500. And then you read the numbers for ERA and where he is, and you say, okay, this guy's really been impressive. He's a rookie. Holiday off the end of the bat. That's an easy play in left for Langerhans, and Lannon works a very quick first inning, just 9 pitches, in retiring the Rockies in order.
Want to spice up your day?
Hey, hon! Welcome to Chili's.
Pepper in some excitement with Chili's Big Mouth Bites. The 4 mini burgers with giant layers of flavor, including bacon, jalapeno ranch dressing, cheese, and sauteed onions. Try Big Mouth Bites. They're hot and juicy, and they're at Chili's. Pepper in some wow. Pepper in some fun.
The Outlaws play on FSN Rocky Mountain. Feel rough ride. Quick shooting. It's a determined band of tough desperados looking to impose their unruly ways on Major League Lacrosse. Denver Outlaws, Boston Cannons, Sunday at 12:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain. Rivalry. Loyalty. Pride. The most anticipated college football game of the season is only on MSN Rocky Mountain. The Quest Rocky Mountain Showdown, Sunday, August 31st at 5, exclusively on FSN Rocky Mountain.
No scores. We go to the top of the second. Email the booth, email the truck night. And let's get it down to Alana again with tonight's great Colorado Payback Sideline Report. Alana.
Drew, I'm inside the truck now as promised. And Albert from Denver wanted to know if he could see the front of the truck. So that's where I am right now. This is where it almost all of the magic happens. There's more on the other side of the wall. But I'll tell you what these guys are doing right now. As you can see, tons and tons of monitors that they have to keep track of. Mike Fox here to the left is the producer for the game. James Armentrout is the director. He handles all the cameras. This guy right here, Gabe Bell, who wears his sunglasses at night because it's way too bright in this truck right now, he has a lot of buttons to push. He's called the technical director. So if you have any questions about what each of these positions are, make sure you email us and we can better describe it for you. Susan Strand over here does Chiron, which Chiron is basically all of the graphics and font that you see on the screen. Chelsea is our intern hanging out today. And then Katie O'Malley handles our Foxbox responsibilities. And Foxbox basically is the score, keeps tracks of balls and strikes, pitching statistics, batting statistics. All of this goes on in the front of the truck. Basically everything you see on the air happens right here. So Andrew, hopefully that answers your question. Drew, back upstairs.
The only problem I had with that report, and it was very detailed, it was excellent, Alana, is that you referred to our director tonight as James Armentrout. Can we not refer to him as Jim?
Okay, sorry, Jim Trout.
Here's a push bunt. De La Rosa is going to have to chase this down. That's going to be an error as Atkins. They have a play at second. Now hung up is Millage. They're going to get the out on Millage. He got too aggressive. Going to third base is Kearns on the initial error by Atkins. That was a great bunt. The 6th bunt hit this year for Lasting's Millage. So with 1 out, Kearns is at third base.
Well, what gets lost in this, watch De La Rosa when the ball gets by him, he very alertly gets after it. Atkins had a little trouble picking it up off of the ground, and it comes over and hits. Jerry Morales, first base coach, is sending Lasting mileage at Millage. I don't know why. I mean, he's going to be out by quite a bit. And he was out by quite a bit, but yet you have a runner at third. It was a great push bunt, something you don't see at the big league level a lot. They normally push it right up the first base line. And Lasting's a great bunt. Pushed it hard right at Baker.
That's Garrett's first error since taking over for Todd Helton at first base. Now with 1 out, the infield will come in with Jesus Flores at the plate. Now Flores has excelled in these situations. You know, we've bragged on Chris Iannetta this year for driving in a ton of runs in a handful of at-bats, relatively speaking. Well, Flores has done the same thing for Washington. He's going to do it right here. Sac fly for Flores, then he cashes in Austin Kearns. It is 1-0.
Well, let's very quickly look at the Bird Automotive keys to this ball game. I think one of those obviously is going to be De La Rosa. I think more offense, because last night the Rockies put 3 on the board early and then just waited a while before they put the 1 run up. And I thought they had Tim Redding on the ropes early in that ball game, could have knocked him out of there. Basically their ace of their staff, but unfortunately we're not able to do that. Now against the left-hander, Lennon, I think they have a little better chance. They've won 5 of their last 6 against left-handers. They're 18-13 overall against left-handers. The Rockies' batting average, second in the National League to left-handers at .285.
And a line drive base hit for Ronnie Belliard. He had a pinch single last night. Belliard's always been able to hit. Rockies fans may recall when he was with Colorado in 2003. He had a very good offensive season that year. Primarily a second baseman, but tonight, despite not being the tallest guy in uniform, he's playing first base.
Well, he is playing first base, Ronnie Belliard, but it shows you a little bit about his hands and what they believe in his ability to be able to work at the first base area.
So with 2 outs, Belliard at first, Ryan Langerhans at the plate. He takes a strike.
I don't know what thing Belliard can do. He can hit.
He can. He's always been able to hit.
He can hit.
And he's taken some grief in the past, not having the prettiest body in the world. And some say he shows up out of shape, but he can hit. Knocked down by De La Rosa. Langerhans is out at first base. That's a good play by Jorge De La Rosa in the inning. With the help of an error, Washington able to score a run on that Jesus Flores sac fly.
It's on everybody's mind these days. So trade up to better fuel economy now at the Chevy Model Year-End event. Trade up to Cobalt XFE with better standard highway fuel economy than Corolla and Civic. Get $1,500 total purchase cash on most 2008 Chevy Cobalt models. Chevy, made for Colorado.
Of course, Geico sponsors Mike's Race Car because they insure everything race car fans love. RVs, motorcycles, ATVs. Tell you one thing they can insure them. Lauren Wallace. Because Lauren Wallace is made of lightning. Those guys are like, hey, where's Lauren? He was just here a minute ago. I'm 100 miles away, son. Ready to strike.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
The U.S. Army Reserve requires a different type of strength. The strength to stand out in school and stand strong with your team. The strength to serve your community one day and your country the next. The strength to take your career to a whole new level. Be a stronger citizen, a stronger soldier, a stronger person in the U.S. Army Reserve. There's strong, and then there's Army Strong. See what it's like at GoArmy.com.
Fried Ice Cream Blast, new at Sonic. Satisfy your sweet tooth with a creamy blend of vanilla soft serve, caramel, crunchy cinnamon crisps, and whipped topping. So drive in and grab one tonight because Sonic is open till midnight or later and is even sweeter after dark.
Washington breaks on top 1-0. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Jesus Flores with the ribby. Here's the defense tonight presented by Toyota for the Nationals. Langerhans, Millage, and Kearns in the outfield. Zimmerman, great hands at third, great range. Harris is at short, Bonifacio. And the diminutive first baseman tonight is Ronnie Belliard.
What is he, 5'9"?
Yeah.
Well, Steve Garvey was like 5'11", 6 foot.
You know what? He wasn't 6 foot. You know that.
Garvey?
He was 5'10".
Maybe. Pretty boy?
Strong. Big forearms, hit the ball a long way. 2-0 on Atkins.
Now this is the one part of the lineup Lennon's really had a difficult time with. The 4-hole hitters have hit near 340, couple of home runs, 7 RBIs against him over the course of the season. Great night to be pitching, though. A very cool night here at Coors Field with all the cloud cover that came in, the rain that hit around the city, not here. But it has really cooled things off. It's a nice night at the yard.
2-2 pulled foul as Atkins was a little bit out in front. Well, fans, if the Rockies score 7 runs or more, you know the deal. Go to Taco Bell in Colorado between 4 and 6 tomorrow and feed your fever with 4 tacos for $1. 7 or more runs. And Atkins keeps the at-bat going. He's been scuffling a bit. 4 for his last 32. Clint Hurdle saying before the ball game, he has so much trust in Atkins, and why not? He's a career 300-plus hitter that he's going to keep putting him out there, and if he thinks he's got to give him a day, it'll come in the next couple. But he wants to see how he does tonight, and he starts out with a strikeout. Yeah, we got another email. This one's for us up here in the booth, evidently. Does the TV crew, truck, and personnel also travel on the road? There are a few that travel with us. Mike Fox, who you guys have met on previous Tuesdays and saw a few moments ago. Mike travels with us. Our director, I was going to say du jour, but we have a couple of directors. Ken Miller, who's also the executive producer of Fox Sports Rocky Mountain, directs a lot of the games, and Jim Armitrad, who's down in the truck tonight. And whichever guy is directing will travel with the club. And Susan Strand, who's in charge of all our graphics, also travels with the club. This is a bouncer to first. Ionetta is going to be out. And meeting us in whatever city we're going to is either Alana, who does sidelines, as you know, or Mark Stout. So there's Mike.
That's Mike. Yeah. He's the one with the hockey.
And there's James Armitrout III.
There's James Armitrout. Where's your hat, James? Put it on. There's Gabe. Katie's back there in the back. There's Katie. Where's Katie? There's Katie. Oh, right there she is, right back there.
She's from the Steel City.
And Sue's sitting right back there behind Mike, not over there in her dugout.
Brad Hopp takes ball 1.
And Javi travels with us.
And you know what? I didn't finish. Yeah, and Javier. Where's Javi?
Where's Javi at? Javi, where are you?
He's our Elvis operator, lead tape operator. There's Javi. Javi, wave. Javi's got a lot of fans, whatever city we go to. He has an entourage wherever Javi is. Trying not to smile right now, aren't you, Javi?
He's working. Yeah, he's working.
But Javi travels with us as well. And then, if you're wondering, just to further answer the question, who's all the camera operators and the other tape operators and audio people and technicians on the road? We pick up people on the road to handle those positions, which is very typical in sports television. Rockies again go quickly and quietly against John Lannon in the second. It's 1-0 National.
At Southwest, just like you, we're loving life in Denver. Fly Southwest new nonstop service from Denver to Omaha or San Francisco International starting September 2nd.
You are now free to move about the country.
Since I got in the loop, when I say now, I really mean it.
Since I got in the loop, I make my point way quicker.
Since I got in the loop, everyone can eat my dust.
Introducing new Quest Fiber Optic Fast Internet with connection speeds up to a blazing 3 times faster than cable. It's the speed you need for the life you lead.
What are you waiting for? Get in the loop.
Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
2 Molson Canadians?
You got it.
Man, that's a good beer.
Lots of flavor.
Yeah, but it goes down easy.
It's from Canada. It is beautiful up there.
Well, it's like a postcard.
Good people, too.
Yeah, just good people living in that beautiful landscape, making this incredibly tasty beer.
That's poetic. Pass the peanuts?
With a big taste and a nice finish. Molson Canadian, an honest brew.
Nats up 1-0, top of the 3rd inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Alana Rizzo tonight. This Saturday at Dodger Stadium. The United States' best incoming seniors from East and West playing the 6th annual Affleck All-American High School game. Watch it live in HD at 1 p.m. right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. And my partner will be working that game again. He's worked it the last few years. And Tulowitzki with an accurate throw to get John Lannon. So Lannon is retired, 1 out.
That's one of my favorite games to work. I like going out and seeing all the high school talent. I'm going to go actually on Thursday morning. We're not televising the Rockies game, so I'm leaving early Thursday morning. I'm going to go out and watch the area code games. There's 6 teams playing from around the region, which major league teams form together. Matter of fact, Dan O'Dowd's son, Christopher's out there playing. Dave Holliday, who works for the Rockies as a national cross-checker and also a pro scout. His son Heath is playing on the White Sox team. So I'm going to go down Thursday and watch a little bit of that, watch some of the Aflac guys play. And then they'll come up for a home run hitting contest on Friday at Dado Field at USC. And usually has a pretty good fan turnout for that. And then obviously the game's on Saturday at noon, 1 o'clock Rocky Mountain time.
That'll be fun. Some great young talent, and many of those kids you'll see in the big leagues one day.
Yeah, the Upton kids right now playing in the big leagues.
Slider and a good one. It's 1-2 on Emilio Bonifacio. Want to mention one other guy. We're going through the whole truck and all the people who travel with us, and they're working. Is Tavis Strand. Tavis is one of our producers also, and Tavis is producing Alana's segments tonight. He's handling all the emails that come to the truck. Swing and a miss, so Bonifacio has not liked his matchups with De La Rosa. 2 punch-outs. 2 gone. Willie Harris will come up, and Alana, I think, has another email. Alana?
It's nice to know that I have my own producer. Thanks, Tavis. It's very nice. All right, Seth from Parkland, Florida. Thanks for watching all the way from Florida. Wants to know how many people work in the truck. Well, Seth, there are quite a few people that come in here to put on a broadcast. So obviously, there's the producer, director, technical director, Foxbox operator, and Chiron. That's 5 on this side. Well, then on this side of the truck, right on the other side of the wall, we have several different editors and tape operators. All these guys right here are responsible for putting together the replays, editing the replays, the rollouts, what you see right before we go to break. These guys up here, there's 4 more handling replays. Then Tavis, as we mentioned, is producing my segments tonight. Tavis is taking care of all of the emails. Normally, he would also produce Rockies games. He and Mike Fox split those duties. Brian is another what we call duet operator, Chiron, handling all the graphics. So the emails that you guys are sending in, Brian is actually typing that in so we can get the email on the screen. Then back here in engineering, if it's not for these guys, the truck does not work. There's 2 people back here in engineering. Basically, they're responsible for making sure the truck is on, everything's working. So how many people is that? I don't know. A lot. Let's just say that. Are we coming back here?
After all that, you didn't count?
I didn't count. No, I forgot.
You got a couple. There's people hiding behind there at video.
I'll let you come back in here. So that's 7.
That's Dale. Dale's got his laptop, and he's watching the weather. His own room.
Drew, we got 16.
16?
Plus me is 17.
That's just in the truck, of course.
That's just in the truck, and then, of course, you guys and Doug up there doing statistics and all of the cameramen that are all throughout the stadium. So quite a few people, 25 to 30 people it takes to put on a broadcast.
Pretty neat. Alana, thank you. Ryan Zimmerman is at the plate. Nats leading 1-0 as they hit with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Willie Harris hit on that off-speed delivery.
Well, I've never been able to score any runs when Lannon's on the mound. It's been horrible for him.
He has among the worst run support in baseball.
Well,
the only guy worse is Harang.
Harang and then Lannon. Kane, Zito, and Peavy, 2 guys out of San Francisco, 3 and 4.
Kind of knew that with San Francisco going in, and Kane's never had run support.
Now, 2 or fewer runs in 8 of his last 12 starts for Lannon. That's not good support at all.
Been impressed with him so far, George. He mixes speeds with his fastball.
I'm anxious to see what happens that 3rd time through, the magical time, and he's been able to work deep into ball games. 6th inning, a lot of quality starts. Consider that a quality start. He worked 6 innings, 3 runs or less.
2-0 on Zimmerman.
Loves the road. That's the thing about it. A lot of guys out on the road, they have a little bit of a park problem, they call it. When they get out on the road, they get intimidated, particularly by Coors Field. A long ball.
And it's 3-0. First 3-ball count tonight for De La Rosa. Zimmerman didn't miss a game last year, played in all 162 games, hit .266, 24 home runs, 91 RBIs. And that's inside, ball 4. So that'll push Willie Harris to 2nd. And here comes Austin Kearns. Wells Fargo customers visit wellsfargo.com/Rockies for 2-for-1 Wells Fargo club level seats. First walk tonight for De La Rosa, who went just an inning and 2/3 against Florida on the 31st of July, the third shortest outing of his career. That after 2 outstanding starts.
And he gets a strike there with a fastball that read 95 miles an hour.
This is a key at bat. Only, you know, they're all key at bats. You can make that argument. But, George, 2 on, 2 outs because of what De La Rosa has done in the past, where sometimes he struggles mightily late in an inning when there's traffic. Can he get the out, the big out?
Yeah, a lot of 2-out base hits that come around and the inability to go out and finish off innings. He's ahead here 0-2. Well, make sure you help out the less fortunate youngsters as they prepare to go back to school. This Saturday, the Rockies and Volunteers of America will be at all the gates. The collection of school supplies, monetary donations, they'll be taken also, very much appreciated. So on August the 8th, from the time the gates open at 5 o'clock, all the way up till the 3rd inning. So make sure you stop by this Friday, August the 8th, with the Padres in town.
0-2 on Austin Kearns. And, you know, the scouting report's going to be the same. Hitters are going to tend to be a little more patient with De La Rosa.
Well,
make him throw strikes.
Got to throw strikes. I think his he has the idea with a hard slider down on the back foot. And he's gotten a strikeout with it already. It wouldn't surprise it. He would go back to it again. One area that Kearns has really had a tough time this year. 2 out runners in scoring position, hitting $174.
De La Rosa's 4-1 at Coors Field, despite a pretty high ERA, above 6. He's had great run support, kind of a contrast to Lanning. Rockies have scored about 10 runs a game when he's out on the hill at home. Center field, well struck. But it'll be caught by Willie Taveras. So 2 left aboard in the 3rd. De La Rosa and the Rockies trailing Washington 1-0. More from the truck when we come back.
At Southwest, just like you, we're loving life in Denver. Fly Southwest new nonstop service from Denver to Omaha or San Francisco International starting September 2nd.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's on everybody's mind these days.
Tell me something good.
So trade up to better fuel economy now at the Chevy Model Year-End event. Trade up to Cobalt XFE with better standard highway fuel economy than Corolla and Civic. Get $1,500 total purchase cash on most 2008 Chevy Cobalt models. Chevy, made for Colorado.
It's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one.
The 300 horsepower Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. How you see the road depends on what you're driving.
Make just one someone happy. And you.
Acura Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura MDX for well-qualified customers.
Hey fans, FSN will be broadcasting from Jackson's Hole, located at 1520 20th Street in downtown Denver, this Saturday, August 9th. Always serving an honest brew with a big taste and nice finish. Visit Jackson's Hole to catch all your baseball action.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Customers can receive 2-for-1 Wells Fargo club level seats at wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo, the official bank of the Colorado Rockies. Troy Tulowitzki will lead it off against John Lannon, and a line drive off the top of the glove of Willie Harris, and the Rockies have not only their first hit, but their first base runner. That'll I'll bring up Clint Barmas. Let's get it down to the truck again, and Alana.
All right, Drew, the question is, how do you coordinate the call of the game with what we see on the screen? That comes from Paula in Aurora, Colorado. Well, actually, the best way to describe this to you, Paula, is to actually introduce you to Mike Fox, who is our producer, and Jim Armentrout, who's our director. And I'm just going to let you listen in, and this is how it happens.
Ready 4. Tick 42. Where do you want me, Yuli? Where do you want on a pick? Ready 2.
Barmas takes outside ball 1.
Stand by font 1. Add font 1 run. Ready 8. Clean. Take 8. Ready 3.
Clint had a couple of hits last night.
4. Ready 4.
He led off as Willie Taveras had the night off. That's in there for a strike. 1-1.
35.
You listen to Armentrout just make numbers up down there. He doesn't know what he's doing, but it sounds impressive.
77. Take 70. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 4.
Blue 85. Blue 85. Set. Hut, hut.
Ready 2. Ready 3 on a pick.
Yuli had that sound in your ear.
See, that was kind of nice there, Jimmy. I like that where you just said ready 3 on a pick. They knew.
35.
That's the mid-first camera.
There you go. See my font 1, add font 1. You want a double box this all, Mike?
Yeah, double box it.
I think Jim needs to make
clean. Take 1 clean. You're killing me. Ready 4.
Foxy's kind of red, too.
Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2.
You're going to be on TV. You got to look the part.
Stand by the double box with 7 in the little box. 4 stays in the big box. Double box, Gabers. Ready 5 in the big box. Take 5 in the big box.
Join this, Drew? You don't have to talk.
All right, this is great. And I noticed that I didn't know this because we're not in the truck. That Jim calls Gabe our TD. Gabers, that's, you know, my youngest, who's 5, is Gabers.
Take 4. Ready 2.
Wow.
It's a term of endearment, Drew. It's all out of respect. Ready 1. Take 1.
I start calling him Hollywood with those shades on.
It's very bright in here with all these lights. Ready 8. Take 8. Ready 3.
We are used to having it a little darker in the truck.
Ready 3 on a pick or 4. Steve's got the lead runner. Pitcher, please, Bell. Ready 5.
Boy, you must have a sore throat at the end of the night, Jim.
Ready 4. Tick 4. Ready 3 on a pick or 2.
2-2, and that's fouled off at the plate.
Even though it's not going anywhere. Ready 1.
Back up A game.
Stand by the white bay in the big box.
Deck strike zone.
Replay white bay big box.
I'll take a look at the deck strike zone. They're giving you a shot of this at home. You heard Mike call it up. It appeared to be a breaking ball down in the strike zone.
Wipe 1. Wipe 1. Ready 4 in the big box. Tick 4. Ready 2. Something's got to happen, Drew. Otherwise, it's not very exciting. Something's got to happen.
Something will happen.
Ready 2.
Well, unfortunately, not there. Barmas strikes out. That'll bring up De La Rosa.
Ready 1. Tick 1. Stem to white bay.
Second strikeout for Lannon.
Replay white bay. Stem is off of the ball.
There you go. Looking on the hard slider down and in on the decks out of the strike zone at 74 miles an hour. And then on the Hyundai cam, good spin of that rotation down and in on the
wipe 5. Ready 4.
Curveball. You got Barmy out on the front foot.
3 on a pick or 2.
De La Rosa gets the bunt down. Tulowitzki to scoring position for Willie Taveras.
So to white backs.
One more replay.
Replay white back.
1-3 on the sack bunt. And Willie will come up.
Figure to push bust.
He bounced to second his first time.
White 5. Hey, we got a little weird DVE shift.
I definitely think you answered Paula's
question. There you go. Nice job, Gabers. All right. Stand by font 1 in the big box. Add font 1 in the big box.
Thank you.
Ready 4 clean. Take 4 clean in the big box. Runner on second base. Steve's got the lead. Ready 2. See where it goes.
Willie stays off that pitch. It's inside.
And
Rockies beginning the day 8 games behind Arizona and 6.5 behind LA. Go ahead, George.
I just saying, I wonder what kind of a nightmare it would be for Jeff Hulberg back in the audio tonight, where he's got a mic on Mike, he's got a mic on Jim, he's got one with Alana, he's got one up here, he's got all the field mics running. He's running the switchers pretty good. We need to give the camera guys and open up all their mics. What's everybody shaking their head? Sam's like, no, ain't doing that one.
Well, there's some like Sam who prefer not to be on camera. And then is Donnie working tonight, Donnie Mills? This ball in the air to center field. It could drop, but it won't because Lasting's Millage got a good jump. In the inning, the Rockies got a hit. Tulowitzki stranded at second. It remains 1-0 Washington.
Hey everybody, Tim Ring, Mark Stout at the Chevy Sports Desk. A reminder, FSN Live coming up after Rockies baseball. Did you see Prince Fielder Monday night go after a teammate in the Brewers dugout?
Did I ever? He's 5'11", 270, even though he's a vegetarian. He's eating a lot of salads going after Manny Parra, who weighs about 80 pounds less than him. I don't know what's going to happen with the Brewers after this, but I'm sure there's going to be something within the team.
They're starting to melt down. We'll see you after the game, everybody.
Introducing Turbo HD by Dish Network, the only 100% HD service, featuring 1080p VOD and the best HD DVR. Packages start at just $24.99 a month. Turbo HD by Dish Network.
1-0, top of the fourth inning. Email the booth Tuesday. Also email the truck this particular Tuesday. Who does your audio? That's from Matty in Fort Collins. Well, we have one of the best in the business. There he is, Jeff Uhlberg. We call him Yuli. That's his little, that's his private room, his private suite. And if you've ever been to a concert and you see the guy who sits behind the audio board with all the buttons and all the dials, that's Yuli.
Yuli, how many mics you got working tonight that you're opening manning? How many? Well, you got a guess?
Hey, Yuli, the button to talk to us, it's the one on the there you go, the one on the left.
Double push for you, Drew.
Okay.
Double? Why you get two?
What do I know?
Because one comes in the truck board and the other goes to your ear.
Oh, that's good.
I've got about 18 mics on the field, plus all the announcers, Drew.
Wow.
Nice. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But they don't stay open all the time. I mean, you got to keep some of them shut down. There's the magic of the keyboard.
Center field, Willie takes a couple of steps in. Millage is retired. 1 out. That'll bring up Jesus Flores. And George, so far so good for Jorge De La Rosa. I know he's trailing, but an error contributed to that run. Garrett Atkins at first base. Now, it is an earned run, and the reason is that Ronnie Belliard, after the sac fly, got a base hit. If the 3rd out was recorded after the sac fly, it would have been an unearned run, but because Belliard ended up getting a hit after that, it's an earned run. Jesus Flores gets a curveball dropped on his lap. He had the sac fly in the 2nd inning. We were talking about how productive this kid has been and comparing him to Chris Iannetta. Well, in RBIs per at bat in the National League, Jason Michaels has an RBI every 4.06 at bats. Ryan Howard every 4.4 at bats. Then Jesus Flores every 4.52 at bats. Chris Iannetta right behind him, 4.61. Atkins will call off De La Rosa. But I like what the pitcher did there, George. You know what? He wasn't taking it for granted that somebody else was going to get there. He was going to make the catch if need be.
Well, get off the mound to make sure you're going to be able to make the catch. That's the key. You got to get over, and then all of a sudden, once you get over there, that's when you become the traffic cop. You jog over, back away, and get out of the way. Once Atkins was able to make the play, you just turn and get out of the way.
Ronnie Belliard, a sharp single to left center his first time up. 2 outs, nobody on in the 4th. De La Rosa misses down. Windshield chipped or cracked. Don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safe Light Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or visit safelight.com.
Well, what I was impressed about what he did with 2 slow hooks and then a fastball at 94. That's what impressed me of what De La Rosa did when he pitched that time. He dropped 2 at about 75 miles an hour and then jumped it up in the velocity, and he just couldn't handle the pitch in. That's pitching.
We'll see more curveballs now the second time through from Jorge.
Well, the one guy I was always impressed with pitching a Rockies uniform, won 15 games, was Sean Estes.
Absolutely. That's a fastball that ate up the bat like a termite. Ronnie Belliard gone 1-2-3 inning in the 4th for De La Rosa. See if the Rockies can come alive offensively.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
Aflac. The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Sunday nights are now television's biggest night with 4 great shows in a row. The Summer Sports Block. Every Sunday night at 7 on FSN.
If you missed last week's baseball report,
here's a look at what you might have missed.
Manny to the Dodgers and Jason Bay to the Red Sox as part of a 3-team trade that made everyone happy.
Well, the Red Sox print money, so again, it's only money to get rid of Manny.
The Red Sox were recently in Seattle. Casey caught up with an old friend, Eddie Vedder.
And in the East, it's not the Phillies, not the Mets, but the Florida Marlins.
Tune in every week to the Baseball Report presented by Honda Motorcycles.
Introducing baseball's golden age. See legendary heroes in a rare collection of footage that brings America's pastime to life like never before. It's an all-new episode, The War Years, Sunday on FSN.
FSN rounds the bases with Rockies Weekly. At home or on the road, FSN has the week's big stories surrounding Rockies baseball. Rockies Weekly, Sunday night at 10:30 on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Here's the Duck with our Affleck trivia question. There's Ronnie Belliard. Well, he hit his 10th home run on August 2nd. Who's the last team this year without a player in double digits for home runs? His 10 home runs lead Washington. Jeff Baker, Matt Holliday, Garrett Atkins. Baker takes down low, ball 1. Baker bounced to third his first time up. And Baker drives it foul down the right field line. Well, last night, George, the Rockies faced a New Yorker, an upstate New Yorker, Tim Reddings from Rochester and Monroe Community College. Obviously, not many big leaguers have come out of Monroe Community College in upstate New York. Well, John Lannon is from Long Island, swung on and missed, and Siena College. Now, Siena's up by Albany, the state capital, at 2.5 hours north of the city. And Siena has produced a whopping 4 big leaguers.
Well, Siena's, are they in the same league with Cornell and that bunch?
No. No.
Who are they with, Dougie?
Siena is. Siena's played some good basketball in the past.
Yeah, they're always a prominent ball club in the NCAA tournament. They're the ones that go, who's this team just upset somebody?
And he got the outside corner against Baker, strike 3. They're in the Mid-Atlantic Athletic Conference, not the MAC. That's the, that's Bowling Green and Miami of Ohio.
Doug, where do you get all your stats from? They want to know.
Is there a particular website that Doug uses to find his baseball stats? Jared and Littleton would like to know. Dougie, we're going to put you on mic. Matt Holliday fouls it off. Doug, pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair, Dougie. Have a seat here. This is going to take a while. What do you mean, all righty? Let's go.
There you go, Doug.
You can't use your New York accent either, okay?
He's from Jersey.
Jersey.
Same thing.
Don't tell them that.
No, don't do that.
You guys are loud.
You say that even when you're not on camera.
He jumps up here. Oh,
you look
boy,
real
you're a
comfortable.
piece of work. You like this, don't you? You want to do a couple innings?
No.
No,
You originally, when you got out of college, wanted to do this, and then you got smart.
I tried it for a little while, but I realized I was having more fun behind the scenes.
And we're going to brag on Doug, and we do it on the air. But Doug is the absolute best there is.
Wait a minute. Show this up here, folks. This is the notes Doug has produced so far. Can you see those? All of these notes produced so far, they haven't been on air yet. They will be before the game's over with.
What Doug is really adept at doing is following our conversation and then adding to it. Swung on and missed. Holiday's gone. So in other words, if somehow we start talking about some obscure player, next thing you know, Doug's handing us notes about that obscure player.
Dougie, so now the original question was, where do you go to get all of your stats?
What are your favorite websites?
You know, I like baseball-reference.com is fantastic. It replaced my old baseball encyclopedia. I used to carry around that 3,000-page book everywhere I went. But Baseball Reference now has every player that ever played in the major leagues and the history of every team and everywhere they ever went. That's a great reference for me. We also use Stats Pass, is owned partially by Fox, and they have an incredible database that I can pull out.
The average fan can't go there, right?
No,
right.
It's unfortunately the average fan can't go there, but I can go there, and me and Suze use it all day long. I can pull up just about any stat from any player, anytime, all different kinds of information, things that
I'll tell you what,
you would never even think of.
When you push advanced search with Stats Pass, and it's amazing the things that you can look up.
It really
Pretty
is.
neat.
You can break it down to just about any type of situation for any player, team, leagues. It breaks it down any way you want it to.
3 balls and a strike right now on Atkins.
So all of these
Ball
numbers
4.
you hear Drew and I talk about, folks, honestly, we never know any of these. Doug gives them all to us every day, and he does it on his little yellow tabs.
On the
fires them on. Yeah, he fires them off to us, and that makes our job much easier than any job I've ever had. Doug does a great job for us.
And the great thing is on the road, Doug is often watching at home with his feet kicked up, and a cold one, I assume.
Some of the time.
Some of the time. And he will all of a sudden text us with information that we may have been hunting for, because I'm not as quick on the computer as we've demonstrated.
You're not even close.
Doug, yep.
There are all kinds of different sites that people can use out there. The ESPN sites, it has great splits and game logs for all players in the major leagues. I know I'm going to get in trouble now for saying that. FoxSports.com is a wealth of information there for us as well. We can use that.
I think we're in the day and age that people know that there are other networks out there.
There are other networks, but they've all they really do have a very thorough website.
You ever been on Baseball HQ, Doug?
Baseball HQ? I don't think I know that one.
I'll show you that. It's not a bad website.
Yeah.
Baseball HQ.
I will. I'll check it out. And Baseball Almanac also is a very
good one.
Thorough, good one. You can find all kinds of obscure records.
And I'll throw one out there that folks can, if they want to learn more about players, we come up with stories on players. There's a website called playerprofiles.com that has, what they do is
so
they
is that
compile,
open to the public too?
Yeah, they compile. It's a paid service, but they compile articles like Chris Iannetta, articles written on Chris Iannetta, and they'll condense it and compile it, and you'll get some background information on Iannetta that may have been written about him when he was just signing out of North Carolina.
Well, not to blow the pay-per-view or whatever you want to call it on that website, but like if you Google Chris Iannetta, you'll have every one of those articles too.
Potentially, right. This does some of your work for you. Instead of 4,000, it condenses it down. Doug Marino, thank you.
Thanks,
always.
Guys. Appreciate it.
1-0 Washington.
Holiday. Did you touch that?
Oh, I think you touched it. Oh, yeah. You touched it, Matty. We all saw it, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah,
definitely.
Did you? Did you touch that?
Yeah, I touched it.
No.
The tag by Barrett, he dropped the ball. Holiday is in. The Rockies are going to the playoffs.
The Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. I'm State Treasurer Carrie Kennedy. To find out if you have unclaimed funds, log on to our website or call 1-800-825-2111.
Hey fans, FSN will be broadcasting from Jackson's Hole, located at 1520 20th Street in downtown Denver, this Saturday, August 9th. Always serving an honest brew with a big taste and nice finish. Visit Jackson's Hole to catch all your baseball action.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. Check out Camry, the #1 selling car in America. Or the fuel-efficient Corolla, a lot of car for the money. And there's Tundra, Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. Or the Tacoma, with an impressive 26 miles per gallon highway rating. Hurry in today. The Toyota National Clearance Event ends soon.
1-0 Washington. The story of this game has been John Lannon. He's limited the Rockies to just 1 hit. Here's our Affleck trivia question again. Who's the last team without a player to have 10 home runs this season? Washington, with Belliard hitting a home run a couple of days ago, finally reached double figures. Oh, it's the Giants. Bowker and Rowan each have 9. I commend Aaron Rowan. He went to San Francisco, and last year he was around 30 home runs with the Phils. He knew that that figure was going to go down, but he hasn't changed his hitting approach. He still sprays line drives everywhere, but some of those line drives that were going out in Philadelphia are doubles in San Francisco.
Well, they are, and that's the hard part about playing in that ballpark. Things just aren't going to carry a whole lot, even when it heats up, because it never heats up. Catch a day game, it's 55-60.
De La Rosa misses there. It's 2-0 on Langerhans hitting out of the 8-hole. Today's game is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Visit a representative today in Denver, Broomfield, or Lone Tree. And that's right there. George Lannon has been most impressive. 5 punch-outs. He struck out the side last inning.
Well, he's been very impressive, and the reason I say that is I think he's really mixed up his pitches extremely well. He's used. I went next door and talked to Don Sutton, and I said, "You know what he is?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "He's Tommy John with velocity." He's throwing the ball 90 miles an hour, where he's just trying to pick the corners, try to get you to roll over a lot of pitches. He'll slop in that curveball and the slider with it, and he'll give you a change-up down and away. Now, it doesn't have big sink or movement on it, but it's just enough to keep you off balance. He's been impressive.
You know, he works a little bit like the guy who's going to throw tomorrow for the Rockies, George. Would you agree? Jeff Francis?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that he does work a lot like it. I think he has a better ability to run it, you know, on the inside. Jeff does, and the other guy. Here, it's innings, pitches by innings, brought to you by Chili's. 13 in the first, 8 in the second. Very quick and efficient there. He sits at number 55 here, low in the dirt. It'll be ball 4. Second walk of the ball game for him.
De La Rosa wanted them to check it out at third with Larry Vanover. He never did get an appeal. No swing. So Langerhans at first, and Lannon comes up. Nobody out. Let's check in again with Alana.
Drew Bear from Littleton, Colorado wants to know how the replays are created instantly. Interested in knowing if everything is digitally recorded. And for that, I'm going to go to Javier here. He's our lead EVS operator, and I'll let him explain what that means, and he'll answer your question, Jav.
As you can see what just happened, we can, well, the play was going there. And then we could already have it backed up before it's even over yet. So the producer or the director can say go to red, and it's instantly there already.
Javier and Danny over here, a bunch of people actually in the tape room doing the replays, cutting packages together. As I mentioned earlier, doing the rollout when we go to break. They're responsible for all of the video replays here in the truck. And we're going to show you another replay now.
Well, this is on the Hyundai cam now is what he's showing you. So the insert of the graphic comes in. The pitch comes right behind it.
Bonifacio, ground ball to short. One play for Tulowitzki, and that's first. Good read by Langerhans. And the reason I said that is when a ball is hit in front of you, the rule is you don't cross in front when you're at second base unless you believe it's hit soft enough that you're going to be able to get to third without a play. That's why you saw Langerhans break.
You know, obviously you see it here, a high hop like this, and then he was able to make a move on it.
Like we're just kind of like, it's a lot of like we're media.
Willie Harris with 2 outs. And this gets through, and Iannetta to the plate, and a run scores. On a wild pitch, it is 2-0 Washington. So think about this ball game. You had an error contribute to the run in the second. And now Langerhans moving up on that soft ground ball to short. He's able to score on a wild pitch.
Yeah, very wild, too. This ball really scooted out front at 95 miles an hour. And a lot of times on a fastball, you don't know if it's going to come up, stay down, what it's going to do. So you just try to bury it out in front of you. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Base hit back up the middle.
Well, George, this is the 5th inning. So through 14 innings in this series, offensively, defensively, and on the hill, Washington, despite their record, has outplayed the Colorado Rockies. That's why they won big last night. That's why they have a 2-0 lead tonight.
Well, I've always said this, and a lot of people look at you like you're nuts, and they're saying, well, you should sweep the team that has second worst or tied for the worst road record in baseball. But a lot of their baggage is off this team now, and it's a bunch of young, energetic players that are playing the game. They just swept Cincinnati. They're coming in with a good feeling. Yep. They win last night's ball game. So anybody can beat you on any given night. They're big league ball players.
Absolutely. And they threw a good pitcher last night in Tim Reddick. They're throwing a young pitcher tonight who's had a lot of success in Lanning.
On the other side of this, you got to understand something. We look at the Washington Nationals. You see them 6 times a year, maybe 7 max. And this year you're going to see them 7 times. So a lot of their players, if they're not big name all-star type players that have been around 3 or 4 years, you don't know a lot about those players. Because they've lived in the minor leagues, they've been there, and they're young players, aggressive, and you hear their name dropped, but you don't know what they can truly do until they get up here. And then you mix that in with a guy like Zimmerman, a guy like Kearns, and then the Flores steps up and gets in the middle of this lineup, so they do some damage.
That's why I think also during the trade deadline, when a name is thrown around, it may be a guy who has had a great career, but now is on the 17th or 18th fairway. Fans get all excited, and yet the better player may be the unheralded guy playing for the Washington Nationals or the Tampa Bay Rays that you may not be as familiar with.
Oh, I'd agree with you. I think there's a lot of that goes on in baseball because of the movement, the change, guys up and down from the minor leagues.
Well, I mean, it comes down to sex appeal. Certain names, you know, have sex appeal, yet they may not be the same guy that they once were.
There's a lot of those guys around right now that are out doing pitching and playing both. You try to catch fire with. I mean, as soon as everybody says Jim Edmonds, they were like, wow, Jim Edmonds. Well, Jim Edmonds, not the Jim Edmonds 6 years ago.
Right. And he's done a nice job for Chicago, but still.
Job, but it's been on a partial type job for him. It hadn't been full-time everyday play.
I think a good example of that gets away. That's going to be another wild pitch. 3-2.
And they can look on the Hyundai cam to see this slider when it bites. Now watch how that ball's going to move back over. Iannetta did a nice job of blocking this baseball, shifting his weight in behind the hitter, staying focused with it. It just shot far enough away from him. It made it difficult to catch the baseball.
3-2 on Zimmerman.
The Rockies now 49 wild pitches on the season.
Twice as many as they had at this point last year. Center field, and Taveras will track it down. In the inning, there was a walk to Langerhans, the leadoff man, and he would come around to score on a wild pitch. 2-0 Washington. This is back up the middle, base hit. It's going to tie up the baseball game.
What do you call a whole Rockies game condensed into 30 minutes? It's Rockies Double Play tonight, following FSN Live on FSN Rocky Mountain.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated with active cleansing agents to clean out up to 15% of sludge in the first oil change. And a cleaner engine just feels better. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Office Liquidators has Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices on new and used office furniture.
Truckloads of quality office furniture from .coms arrive weekly, all discounted 35 to 45%, including Colorado's largest selection of new premier mesh back chairs, starting at just $199.
Check online at OfficeLiquidators.com for in-store coupon savings up to $500 for your office, your community, and our world.
Office Liquidators, making a difference since 1985 at 6th and Sims in Lakewood.
Hurry into Toyota's National Clearance Event. Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line car company on the road today. And now's the perfect time to get amazing deals, like Camry, with an impressive 31 mpg highway rating. Or the 2009 Corolla, highway rated at 35 mpg. And while you're there, check out Yaris with a 36 mpg highway rating. So hurry in and improve your MPG. The Toyota National Clearance Event is on now.
Welcome back. You're looking inside our television truck as it's 2-0 Washington. It is email the booth, email the truck night this Tuesday. Bottom of the 5th inning, Brad Hoppo lead it off, line drive, gloved by Ronnie Belliard. George, you got to hit it really high to get it over Belliard's head.
Yeah, you do, and unfortunately that one hitting on a button. Belliard walking around looking at me. Watch me. Watch me. I can catch anything over here. Everybody said I wasn't tall enough, big enough, didn't have any ups, quickness. I got it all. That's one move over, and again, preventing a line drive, lead off out again for Lannon out on the mound.
What did I tell you Belliard was, 5'9"? He's actually listed at 5'8".
See, there you go.
Tulowitzki has the Rockies' only hit. Leading off the 3rd inning, a line single off the top of Willie Harris's glove at short. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lannon pitched in 6 ball games last year, but he was under 50 innings, so therefore he retained his rookie status for 2008. 3-1. And the Rockies in their last homestand, George, by this juncture of the ball game, had already reached double figures in hits. That's the 2nd walk allowed. Just the 3rd base run. That'll bring up Barmes.
You said 3rd base runner. It's been Tulowitzki twice. A base hit and a walk. The only hit the Rockies have, a line drive to left.
Chevrolet has 8 models that get an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. Chevy, made for Colorado. Barmes struck out on a breaking pitch his first time up. That one was a big miss.
Oops. There's a changeup that changed. It just changed a lot of direction. This came right out of his hand. He's really trying to pull the string on it. That's what you do out front. Watch right here. So you can pull this thing this way. He does a 2-finger change versus a 3-finger circle change. Keeps them together, kind of rotates it almost as if it's a hard sinker or screwball.
1-1 on Barmes. Clint missed a month earlier this year with a sprained right knee. Runners in scoring position. He's hit 266. And this is going to land in the glove of Emilio Bonifacio. I thought initially it may have enough to get out.
He's changing a lot of speeds.
Short right.
Curveball 73 miles an hour. Hey, when you're on the road, you can't watch your Rockies on FSN Rocky Mountain. Go to MLB.tv. You can log on and catch every remaining out-of-market Rockies game live or on demand. For more details and a free demo, visit ColoradoRockies.com, MLB TV.
Now 2 outs, and Jorge De La Rosa will try to help himself. He does have 4 RBIs this year. That 9-4 win yesterday, the Nationals snapped a 7-game losing streak here at Coors Field. Going back to their Expo days, they never enjoyed a lot of success coming to Denver. 24-37 all time here in the Mile High City. 0-2, and De La Rosa waves at a slider. Tulowitzki left at second, 5 innings complete. The Nationals shutting out Colorado 2-0.
Ding. You are now free to enjoy your flight.
And how little you paid for it.
Ding.
You're now free to have a frequent flyer program you can actually use.
Ding. Ding.
Ding. You are now free to find a low fare anytime you need one.
Free to sit in any seat in the cabin.
Ding.
Ding. Ding.
You are now free to enjoy flying again.
At Southwest, we're loving life in Denver. That's why you're free to fly nonstop from Denver to Fort Lauderdale, New Orleans, or Sacramento for just $89 to $129 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Boys and Girls Clubs provide a safe place where kids can meet new friends, try new things, and grow in ways they never thought possible. I'm Mark Stout for FSN Rocky Mountain. FSN has teamed up with the Colorado Rockies to help make a difference in the lives of kids everywhere. Every day, thousands of kids benefit from the programs and opportunities available at their local Boys and Girls Clubs. Lives are changed for the better. Help make a difference in the community through the Boys and Girls Clubs, a positive place for kids.
FSN Rocky Mountain brings you the best of the CU Buffs. Football. Women's basketball. Men's basketball. Every exciting moment of CU sports action right here on FSN. Your home for CU Buffs is FSN Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Freeway Ford and Longmont Ford. Proud to be Todd Helton's Ford team. See over 600 new and used online at cheaperfords.com. By the Cardiac and Vascular Institute at Exempla St. Joe's Hospital. The most hearts, the most experience. By Pennzoil, feel the clean. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Austin Kearns will lead it off in the 6th inning for the Nationals. They'll hold a 2-0 lead. The Rockies have been out hit 4-1. Alana Rizzo continues from the truck. Alana?
I do. Actually, Drew, I've stepped outside of the truck, and I'm now in kind of our break room, but it's also where our RoboCams and our Hyundai cam is. And Michael from Aurora wanted to know how the Hyundai cam works. So I found Jock out here with the Hyundai cam. He's the Hyundai cam operator, and he's going to let us know.
Well, basically, the camera records at about 1,000 frames per second. And I choose when it clips whatever is recorded. And then we play that back to the truck, and the people in tape play it back for everybody else.
There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. The guy that runs the Hyundai cam. Drew, back up to you.
All right, Alana, thank you.
Hey, where's Speedy at? And the
He's
boys.
over here. Yeah, Speedy and Woody are right over here running the RoboCams.
Barmas, nice pickup and a good throw. He had to find the baseball with the wood flying in his direction. The barrel ended up near Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, take a look at the Hyundai cam. This is what we're showing you back there. So he's the one operating it, too, pressing all the buttons. And this pitch coming in from De La Rosa, you get to see that fastball that just ate that barrel right up on the bat.
That's how the Hyundai cam works. That is really a marvelous innovation. See the seams on the baseball. Lasting's millage, a bunt single, and a fly ball to center field. And then he tried to bunt his way on again. 0-1 on Millage. And tonight, and we could move the Hyundai cam around. Tonight, Brian Peters is running it. Hi, Brian. Brian is not one of our camera-shy camera operators. Brian actually does some directing, too. Does the Avalanche. Next year, Brian, you're doing the Nuggets, right? Next year? Directing the Nuggets? Don't mess that up, all right? I want to sit back and enjoy the game.
Little bitty puck, big orange ball. Follow them both.
That's a strike. George yelled down. They got us. We have it 2-1. I thought he offered it that first pitch, didn't he?
Well, it's a 2-1 count.
I thought he tried to bunt the first pitch.
Apparently he did.
Yelled down at Mike Everett. You have that big voice. Ask him.
No.
Ask him what the count is.
No. He'll let you know here in just a minute.
The scoreboard, they missed
3-1.
one.
He just gave it.
Did he?
Yeah. 3-1. 3-2. Watch your lips in the dugout.
Red, hey, George, here you go. Here's a look at the first pitch. First pitch, see if he offered it.
Who's that talking?
Red.
Oh, that's Mike Fox, the producer, isn't it? We'll take a look at it, see if he did, or did he pull the bat back. Yeah, he did. He pulled the bat back. There's no doubt about that. He pulled it back up into his chest.
Payoff pitch to Millage. Got him. He went around. Iannetta didn't get the tag, so they'll throw it to first. Atkins is there. 2 outs.
Well, he did go around, obviously, on that one. Tried to hold up, got way out in front of it, then the tag was missed, so you got to complete it with the throw. As you look on the Hyundai cam, really good pitch. I tell you, De La Rosa has done a nice job. I know they got a couple of runs. Defense has played the role of that. The youngster's throwing pretty good against the Nationals. Worked into the 6th inning in a 2-0 ball game.
And who would think the Rockies would be getting 1 hit by John Lannon, a rookie, in this ballpark, the way the Rockies have swung the bat through 5 innings of play. Jesus Flores 0 for 1 and a sac fly. One and one. Flores, another one of those good-looking catchers, George, from Venezuela.
Fun to watch him work back there. I really liked the way last night threw the ball from his knees down to second. Had a bullet, very strong arm. Has shown big power.
Ruby Torrealba's from Venezuela. If you have any damage to your windshield, call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, or visit safelight.com. Here's the 1-2. Breaking pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. Tim McClellan rings him up. Strikeout number 5 in the ball game for De La Rosa. 2-0. The Nationals lead, middle of 6 at Coors Field. Back in a moment.
It's on everybody's mind these days. So trade up to better fuel economy now at the Chevy Model Year-End event with a fuel-efficient 08 Chevy. Like the Chevy Malibu, one of 8 Chevy models that offers an EPA-estimated 30 mpg highway or better. And current non-GM owners and lessees get this Malibu 1LS starting at $19,550 after total purchase cash. Chevy, made for Colorado.
Get you noticed. Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Hey, Drew Goodman here from my friends at AMCO. If your car is making strange noises, take it to the experts at AMCO. They'll fix it right for less and back it with their nationwide warranty. Whether it's your transmission, engine, or even your brakes, you've got a guy for all your car care needs.
Linda writes, I chose Money Tree because I heard good things about you from friends, and they were right. Thanks, Linda. Customers love our service. They tell us how much they appreciate our loans when they need cash before payday. We also cash any type of check and offer free money orders with every loan or check cashing transaction. It's no wonder so many busy people recommend Money Tree to their friends.
Always use short-term credit responsibly.
Check cashing, payday loans, and more. Money Tree.
2-0 Washington. The Rockies will bring to the plate in the inning the top of the order. Dex, this date in history, August the 5th, 1921. The Pirates-Phillies game at Forbes Field is the first big league game broadcast on radio. Harold Arlen on KDKA in Pittsburgh. John Lannon with a 257 road ERA coming in, 4th best in the National League. And he's done nothing to tarnish that so far. That's a fair ball.
Well, he's going on a fair ball. He's going to ask down here, though. They think the ball hit him. So here comes the umpire from third. Atkins coming out. Tim McClellan, too. They're going to see if this ball hit him or not. Larry Vanhover is making the march, and now he's asking He's asking for the home plate umpire, Mike Everett, to walk out and discuss this with him. Well, this is the 2 shots. You won't have one out at second baseman. See if this ball bounced up and hit Willie at all. Oh, it grazed his helmet, didn't it? Did it hit the helmet?
I think it did hit the helmet.
I don't know if it did or not.
See if this angle.
Where's the ball hit? Ball hit right up on the plate.
Can't tell there.
Yeah, I can't tell either. Let's go back to the Hyundai cam. I looked on the Southwest cam. Didn't see it there. Let's go to the Hyundai cam. See, it grazed the bat.
It hit the bat twice.
And then it also hit the helmet.
Well, we got one of those what did you see conversations going on.
Yeah, sure do.
He's coming back. And now Clint Hurdle will come marching out.
Well, Tim McClellan's trying to do the right thing here. Don't do it. This is what I saw. And then he asked for a little bit of help behind it. Clint's going to argue it too.
Oh, Clint's going to say you made a very definitive call.
Well, from where he saw it from the backside. But you're talking about the guys up here on the front side that saw, I think, play with Vanover and McClellan.
George, it's the same thing in the NBA. I think what angers managers, head coaches in the NBA is when a guy who's, in this case, 90 or 100 feet away makes a call and overrules a guy who's 10 feet away, or in this case, really about 5 feet away. Whatever Clint said, it basically rendered Mike Everett speechless.
But I think Clint's saying the same thing you did. All of a sudden we have no call, that it's a fair ball, and all of a sudden from 90 feet he's saying that he saw it out here, and now Tim McClellan's going to come in and talk about it. He said he made the call.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in hoops a lot. So, you know, the backside official from 40 feet away makes a foul call, and a referee and a coach wants to know, well, what about the guy who's a few feet away? He didn't see it. Huh?
Oh, then they give you the old deal. Well, he's supposed to watch the flight of the ball, and this guy's watching it.
Willie's hopeful he's going to be safe. He's going down. Oh, no, now he's getting some more equipment from Glen Allen Hill.
Now let's on the side angle, see what happens here. When the ball hits the ground, it's going to slow it down for you. See, I can't really see it.
You know what? It didn't hit the helmet.
It didn't hit the helmet. It had to hit the bat.
There's no way it hit the helmet. It may have hit the bat twice.
You see on the Hyundai cam, as this ball comes up right here.
It did hit the bat.
Yeah,
you
it did hit the bat,
redirected.
but it didn't hit the helmet.
Well, you know what? They did get the call right.
They got it right. That's all that matters. That's all you want. At least they asked now.
0-1, and after all that, Zimmerman's still in on the grass. Belliard is shortened up. Go bunt it again.
Or hit a line drive, double in the gap, and run forever. How about that? I like that idea better. What will the weight do too for Landon? I mean, that's one thing that that happens to a lot of pitchers as the argument goes on. You're standing out there for about 10 minutes while everybody's trying to dispute what's happening.
2-1. Willie's got a 10-game hitting streak going. Best run of the year for Taveras. Brought a 372 clip into the ball game during those 10. They set up outside. And this is chop foul. Hands by Mike Gallego. Tonight's game sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Visit a rep today in Denver, Broomfield, or Lone Tree.
If you have a group that'd like to come out to Coors Field, pick up the phone and call 303 Rockies or go to ColoradoRockies.com. 25 or more. Receive a special price on their ticket, a scoreboard recognition, and a whole lot of other benefits. Watch out, dude.
Center field, well struck, but Village is going to get back and make the catch. One out. Jeff Baker will come up. in the 6th inning, and Alana Rizzo.
Drew, Joe from Glenwood Springs wanted to know how many robo-cams we have and how they work. So for that, I'm going to let you talk to Woody now, or hear from Woody, I should say, about exactly. Now, Woody and Speedy both run the robo-cams. Nobody here goes by their real name. I don't even know what people's real names are. But Woody, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you do with the robo-cam?
Basically, these are remote cameras. And these cameras actually hang on the backstop. And there's a good shot of it right there. And we operate them from in here. And what I have here is basically a joystick and pan and tilt right here.
Is it a little bit like a video game?
Yeah.
It's similar to a video game.
Alana, let me jump in very quickly.
We're a little bit more advanced than just a video game.
That's John Wood, thus we call him Woody. And John was a world champion Nintendo player, and he was recruited for this specific job. And Jeff, a.k.a. Speedy, to your right.
You need to interview the New Yorker.
Right. Jeff, he is a New Yorker.
He warned me he would not talk.
And
Jeff, I don't want to cross the New Yorker.
Well, Speedy has 2 jobs. He also runs a RoboCam, and he babysits Woody.
He babysits Woody. All right, fair enough. So there's 2 of those, and they're pretty much just played like video games, right?
Sure, yeah.
All right, Drew, back to you.
They do a great job down there. John Wood and my man Speedy. Woody and Speedy. Speedy and Woody. Soap opera some nights.
Odd couple.
1 out. Jeff Baker with a 2-2 count. Baker a ground ball to third, and he was caught looking on a fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Rockies have been totally confounded tonight by Lannon. And a line drive that's going to drop in front of Langerhans. So Baker with just the 2nd hit of the night for the Rockies with 1 out in the 6th inning. And here comes Big Daddy, who can tie this thing up with 1 swing. Take a look at our Geico quote of the night. Manny Acta on facing Aaron Cook and having success yesterday. It's the first time with any team I've been associated with that we've scored 5 runs off Aaron, because he is so tough. And of course, you thinking about last night, the final score was 9-4. 7 runs off Cook. They did make a scoring change last night. There was only 4 earned runs initially. They've added 1 earned run, so Cook gave up 5 earned runs of the 7 he allowed. Still has an ERA around 3.68, which is outstanding. 0-2 on Matt. This season, for every ribby that Matt produces, Quest will donate $100 to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado. Total up to $6,700. One way Quest builds a stronger community. And Lannon gets Holiday again. 2nd time tonight.
Tell you what, he does a nice job of just slamming on the gas pedal and then slamming on the brakes, backing it up, adding to it, changing direction, not throwing the same pitch over and over again. You see it on the strike zone. What appears to be a strikeout here to Matt Holliday just disappears out of the strike zone. But it's not the type of velocity that you see a lot. So it's tough to set your sights on the baseball as a hitter. I mean, Holliday's crushed the ball at Coors Field. 425, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs since July 1st. Big, big numbers.
Now the Rockies still 1 big swing away from tying this thing up. 2-0 Washington in the 6th inning. Arizona has Brandon Webb on the hill tonight in the 4th inning. Webb and the Diamondbacks shutting out Pittsburgh 2-0. By the way, they announced, the Diamondbacks did earlier today, that they had signed Dan Herron to a new 4-year deal. They wiped out what was left on his old contract, and he's going to stay with Arizona. This is going to drop. Baker's going to cut 2nd and head to 3rd. 1st and 3rd for Chris Iannetta.
And the guy up
in these situations.
Great guy to have up in this situation with the runners in scoring position and 2 outs for Iannetta. Look where he landed through this baseball, though. It's right where they wanted it. Right up here, up in the zone. Try to keep Atkins from getting on top of it. But look how Garrett raised the body up The swing came out of the top of it and allowed him to dump this ball out into the outfield. It all shows up. And watch as he brings up into his zone to try to get on top of this baseball and drive it. Well, he had broken bat and all. It's still a single into right center. Iannetta, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, has hit .455 this year, 15 for 33. 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. How about that number? 21 RBIs total.
You know, the Rockies have been starved for a home run. In their last 5.5 ball games, they have 3 home runs. Matt Holliday's hit them all.
Big hook there. We'll come out to the ball game Wednesday. That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, August 6th, Nationals are in town. The first 7,500 will get a Live the Dream t-shirt. Chris Iannetta. How about that? Brought to you by Coors and the Rocky Mountain News. So purchase tickets at your outlets and go to ColoradoRockies.com to get your ticket for tomorrow's ball game.
Here's the 0-1 on Iannetta. That's a strike 0-2. The last guy not named Holliday to hit a home run for the Rockies was Chris Iannetta 6 days ago. Baker at third, Atkins at first.
Well, Manny Corpus has started to throw down in the bullpen for the Rockies.
Second. The Rockies touch third base for the first time in the game. Nothing more, though. We'll go to the 7th, 2-0 Nationals.
We're so fired. Relax. We'll give him the new fajita steak and jalapeno chicken melts.
Melts? That's your plan?
Here's where we spent most of our budget. Short-term investments, team-building exercises, company car, recruiting, and the off-site in St. Bart's. Any questions?
Get lost in melty cheese. Taco Bell's new fajita steak melt and chicken melt. Think outside the bun.
Hey everybody, Tim Ring, Mark Stout at the Chevy Sports Desk. A reminder, FSN Live coming up after Rockies baseball. Did you see Prince Fielder Monday night go after a teammate in the Brewers dugout?
Did I ever? He's 5'11", 270, even though he's a vegetarian. He's eating a lot of salads going after Manny Parra, who weighs about 80 pounds less than him. I don't know what's going to happen with the Brewers after this, but I'm sure there's going to be something within the team.
They're starting to melt down. We'll see you after the game, everybody. If you missed last week's baseball report,
here's a look at what you might have missed.
Manny to the Dodgers and Jason Bay to the Red Sox as part of a 3-team trade that made everyone happy.
Well, the Red Sox print money, so again, it's only money to get rid of Manny.
The Red Sox were recently in Seattle. Casey caught up with an old friend, Eddie Vedder.
And in the East, not the Phillies, not the Mets, but the Florida Marlins.
Tune in every week to the Baseball Report presented by Honda Motorcycles.
Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by ColoradoUsedCarDealers.net. Click, find, drive. By the Cardiac and Vascular Institute at Exempla St. Joseph Hospital, the most hearts, the most experience. By your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Isn't it time you test drove a Hyundai today? It's time to compare and save. And by Quest, get in the loop and change the way you connect with the things you love. Before the game, George, I made sure all the wires were set for the ball game, just helping out, trying to do my part. I want you to do it tomorrow, okay?
No, not touching anything.
Ronnie Belliard in the 7th. Jorge De La Rosa misses with the breaking pitch.
Well, it showed you an awful lot about a truck tonight and about everything that's going on, but I'm telling you what, you've got to see a heck of a ball game, too, pitched by a couple of guys. 7 total hits in this game. 4 by the Nationals, 3 by the Rockies. Make that another hit for the Nationals. De La Rosa's done a great job.
That's just the 5th hit allowed by Jorge.
The second one by Belliard.
Any chance they'll pinch hit after Langerhans, George?
I don't think so.
Just hoping.
You were hoping?
Yeah.
Kind of like Florida?
Yeah. Take Nolasco out of there.
Take Olsen out with 1 hit and a shutout going into 6. Good, thanks, bye. Oops.
Yeah.
Florida's
Langerhans
playing
walked
Philly. What are they
and scored
doing?
in the 5th.
What's Florida and Philly doing?
It's 8-2 Florida final.
Yeah, that's Josh Johnson got the win. Where's he from?
Oklahoma, George.
Jinx, Oklahoma.
Time for our Excel Energy fun fact. Home runs at Coors Field by members of the Washington Nationals. Belliard, that's a little unfair. He played here with the Rockies. He's got as many as the rest of the club. But they're all kids, except for Kearns. Langerhans with a base hit. Well, Lannon will come up and try to bunt the 2 runners along. Did you know that Chevy has 8 models that get an EPA estimated 30 mpg highway or better Chevy made for Colorado? Be interesting to see what Clint does after Lannon is up. Does he go to his bullpen at the top of the order, getting ready to face De La Rosa for the 4th time? I mean, even when De La Rosa's been good, and he's been good tonight, George, nice bounce back performance, he typically is a 6th-inning pitcher.
Typically, that's about where he is. And right now, the Rockies realizing that after a couple of soft hits. Yet they have Steven Register up down in the bullpen. He made his major league debut last night. Last pitch thrown, 95 and a punch out.
1-1.
But you know, somebody in the community that's made a positive difference in the Hispanic community. Nominate them for the 2008 Colorado Rockies Hispanic Adult Leadership Award. The nomination forms and information available online at coloradorockies.com, or pick up the phone and dial 303-ROCKIES. Now, all those nominations must be in by August the 8th.
Bunt goes foul. 1-2. Franklin Morales last night, George. We haven't talked about Franklin in a while. Beat the Omaha Royals. Went 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and he walked only 2, which is a good sign.
Big improvement.
He's now 8-4 down in Colorado Springs. Been a difficult year on one hand for Franklin, but hopefully a good learning year. Working on a regular basis with Chuck Niffen, the pitching coach, and a chance for an out at third. Safe. And Iannetta fired to second, and Ronnie Belliard heads up. He just took off for third and said, you know what? I'm either going to be safe or I'm going to be out, but I'm not going to get in a rundown. I'm just going to let it fly, and he is safe at third base.
Ben, I tell you what, Iannetta thought he had him too. Watch this play one more time. The bunt, he's out, and then fired to second, and another strong arm with Tulowitzki, then a tag by Barmas. Barmas thought he had him too. Look at it again.
I think he did too.
Have him. He may have gotten him there. Hyundai Cam, you're going to see it. Watch the foot come in. Watch the ball come down.
He's out.
Yeah, I think he was out. Larry Vanover may have missed that one. You know, Iannetta's reaction behind the plate.
2 great throws, Iannetta and then Tulowitzki. And shortening up the bunt was Bonifacio. Goes as a stolen base for Belliard. Bonifacio fouls it back 1-1.
Let's take another look at that play at third base. You see it come in on a throw all the way over here. Now Barmas has got the ball well ahead of him. Now he's going to reach back for the tag. See, I got him. He's tagged him in the knee there.
He is out. And well, Larry Vanover is a good umpire.
Yeah, very demonstrative with that call save.
Yeah, he was right on top of it. I just think he missed it.
That's confidence. You know, De La Rosa and Iannetta both, with the runner at third in a 2-0 ball game, to snap that hook off and say, throw it. I'll block it. It's not getting by me.
Well, the wild pitch that scored a run in the 5th inning was on a fastball.
Well short of home plate. Scooted right underneath Iannetta.
These are tougher to block because from a catcher's perspective, back your mind with a breaking pitch, you expect it in the dirt.
Still 90 plus. That last pitch here on the gun in the stadium was 95 miles an hour. Velocity's still there.
Yeah, he's been good tonight, George. He's been very good. He's walked only 2. He's trying to work out of a problem here in the 7th. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Bonifacio, one of the fastest men in baseball. Behind him is Willie Harris. That's why the Rockies are shortened up. Ground ball to 3rd. Out there. Going to 1st. Out there. Double play. What a strange double play that turned out to be. Ground ball to Barnes, took him right into Belliard. Belliard was out twice this inning. And then the throw to 1st was picked up by Atkins.
By air, by land, by sea, even dancing in the seats. Wherever the team may be, we take you there. Rockies All Access, Thursday at 6:30.
Sometimes luxury needs to howl at the moon. Find a rare grass-fed steak in a red leather booth and invite all its friends. This is 5.1 surround sound luxury. Luxury advanced. The all-new, totally redesigned Acura TSX. A new generation has arrived. Acura Advance.
Growing a business takes time. But if you're distracted with little problems, you're not focused on the big picture. Quest provides integrated voice, data, and network solutions, giving you time back to make sure your business can reach its potential. Get Quest. Get nimble.
I love all the flavor in the supersonic breakfast toaster.
Yeah,
man.
you know, it's almost like breakfast to the second power because it's got double meats on there, you know, double cheeses.
Yeah, I was never, like, good with food math.
How many sandwiches are you holding?
Please don't embarrass me.
Come on, man.
50?
50?
I don't know. 8?
Supersonic Breakfast Toaster. New at Sonic. Sausage and bacon with pepper jack cheese or ham and bacon with smoky cheddar. Try one anytime with a premium roast, iced or hot latte.
2-0 Washington. Starting to get late. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brad Hopp, Troy Tulowitzki, and Clint Barmes. Well, we got another email. I think we have another email. Chelsea, our intern for the day, is now upstairs watching everything we do up here, which is much. Christian, what do you guys throw out of the booth during the 7th inning stretch? Christian? Cracker Jacks. Take me out to the ball game, Christian. We throw Cracker Jacks. The one problem I have with this, we used to, years ago, we used to throw cookies out, packages of cookies, and you could actually get the cookies traveling. These Cracker Jacks, which are great to eat, and the folks down there love them, they just don't go anywhere, George. The maximum distance one can throw is about 40 feet.
No. That's not true. That is not true. You just didn't spend enough time in the park like I did.
Throwing the Frisbee. You got to throw Frisbee style.
Great play here. A little stretch by the little guy at first, and they're able to get the out on a ball hit by Hop. Now, here's the deal. See, you got to flatten him out, and you make him look like a Frisbee. See, upside there. There you go. Now you snap. See, Goody's bad. See, Goody, like, he doesn't have the
Frisbee style.
No, you went to class at OU. I didn't have to. See, now, this is the deal. You just fire them out. All the scouts sit down here below us, and they're right in behind home plate. And that last one that I threw, hit right into the group of the whole scouts. I do it every night. They sit down and they give me a hard time because I got to get loose. First 3 or 4, I just kind of toss, and then I finally start airmailing them out. And folks, just so you know, Drew dared me one night. We used to have big bags of peanuts, and he said, "I'm telling you, you can't hit the backstop." And I said, "Well, I'm not getting in trouble for free." And he said, "You can't hit the backstop."
You did?
I know. I missed. I hit home plate. I airmailed the whole screen.
You got it over.
And it landed down by the home plate area. It wasn't good. So, you know, this is where we are. Wait a minute. This is where we are right here. And then the scouts are down here. Now we got a bunch of circles on a cut screen. Stuck it. Now I can do it again. Here, I got to draw real quick. See, and the scouts sit right down here. It's a good toss.
That was a really good toss.
Why don't you toss that now and see if you could get it out of the window?
The gun had you still at 88, George.
No, it didn't have me at 88, I guarantee you. There's Bob Johnson. He's working for the New York Mets, advancing as they get ready to play the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, worked for Texas Rangers for a couple of years. Oakland for
very
years
close,
and years.
very, very close with Rick Peterson, the former pitching coach with the New York Mets.
Strike 3 on Tulowitzki. You just keep waiting, George, for the Rockies to figure out John Lannet. It hasn't happened.
Now let's look at the strike zone and see where this pitch is and where it came into the plate area. I mean, he has lived down there. Mike Erbert has given it to him.
8 strikeouts. Clint Barmes.
And they have Shell, the right-hander, Manning, the left-hander, warming up down there. Corpus is warming up for the Rockies.
Barmes 0 for 2, a strikeout, and a little flare to second. Ian Stewart has come out on deck if Barmes can reach for De La Rosa.
100th pitch thrown in the ball game, 39 strikes in 7 innings. I mean, excuse me, 39 balls in 7 innings, make that 40.
And by the way, we mentioned scouts, and there are different types of scouts. For those wondering, letting their brains tickle, is there some trade, or the Mets looking at a Rocky? Bob Johnson's an advanced scout. The Rocky or the Mets are going to play Washington coming up, and because Washington's roster's turned over quite a bit recently, he's scouting the Nationals in preparation for when the Mets face them again. This is going to be a base hit. So the Rockies will get the tying run at the plate again. And it'll be Ian Stewart.
I'll take one big swing to tie this thing. You got to pick your poison if Clint Hurd will go out after this lefty. Because the other big bat would be Smith, Sullivan, and Kidney, not home run hitters. They can leave the yard. But Clint's going to go out and send Stewart out and hopefully maybe catch a hanger, get a ball in the middle of the zone against Lennon that he can leave the yard with.
The only right-handed batter on the bench, if you're curious, is Torey Alba, who's the number 2 catcher tonight.
Well, how about De La Rosa? What a nice job he put out tonight.
Terrific job. And he had been getting unbelievable run support, particularly at home. And tonight, he goes out, allows 2 runs over 7 innings. Kept the walks down, George. 6 punch-outs. Really nice outing.
Very nice.
91 pitches, economical. But the Rockies have yet to score. 1-0 on Stewart, who hits lefties well. Stewart touches it high and deep. Take a good look. You got yourselves a tie game. Lannon finally made a mistake, and Stewart hit it a mile.
He tried to take that one shot as a manager late in the game to have one swing to tie this thing up. And Ian Stewart came through in a very, very big way, folks. This ball was crushed, his 5th home run of the year, his first home run. This left-hander is a pinch hitter, and I'm going to have Dougie check that if that's his first pinch hit home run. Look at the pitch. You're going to see it, a slider that just hung out. Great read by Stewart. Didn't fool him. The knees didn't buckle. He didn't fall off of the pitch whatsoever. With 2 outs, his first pinch hit home run. A huge one. Tie this ball game in the bottom of the 7th.
With 2 outs.
Take a look at this swing now, how everything loaded up onto this back leg. And then the drive behind the back leg and the bat coming through in the zone with the long carry all the way around here to the backside.
Slowly hit, Zimmerman scoops and throws and gets Taveras. In the inning, Ian Stewart off the bench into the scorebook. Whole new night. It's 2-2 as Stewart crushes one to right center. He knew it. Xcel Energy is proactively working on ways to provide sustainable sources of renewable energy, like wind energy from our wind farms, or solar energy like that which powers the LED board at Coors Field. Visit XcelEnergy.com to find out more.
Turbo HD by Dish Network, the only 100% HD service, featuring 1080p VOD and the best HD DVR. Packages start at just $24.99 a month. Turbo HD by Dish Network.
It's so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one.
The 300 horsepower Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. How you see the road depends on what you're driving.
Make just one someone happy. And you.
Acura Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura MDX for well-qualified customers.
Connect online and play against anyone in the world. With the best in entertainment. Comcast and Wii. Sign up for the Comcast Premier Triple Play today and get a free Wii system.
Welcome back. Time for our Coors Light Freeze Cam. Look at the play by Barnes. He gets a tag on Belliard, and then he one-hops the ball to first. Atkins with the pick, and he got a very fast man in Emilio Bonifacio. Our Coors Light Frost Brewed Freeze Can. Huge play last inning to keep it a 2-0 ball game, and then Ian Stewart with his first career pinch hit home run. Rocky's second pinch home run this year. Iannetta had one earlier. He stays in the ball game at third. Barmes is out of there. Manny Corpus is on the hill of the double switch. This call to the pen brought to you by Comcast. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Well, on to pitch the 8th inning, Manny Corpus with a tie ball game. It has been Buckle's spot. I think why they went to Corpus. Originally they had Register warmed up, but the reason they went, it's a tie ball game, and Manny had been warming up, so it wouldn't take as long to get him ready and get him into this ball game. 4 saves, 10 opportunities this year. That's not his role anymore. It's to set it up, maintain it, keep it the way it is.
0-2 on Willie Harris. And Harris pops it up short right field. Baker going out. He's waiting on Hop, and Brad will make the catch. Let's check in again with Alana in the truck. Alana?
All right, Drew. Rod from Colorado Springs has a question about our pitch tracks, the FSN strike zone. So I came over here to where the pitch tracks machine is actually operating, and Earl is taking care of that now. Rod's question was, when you show the location of a pitch in the strike zone, at what point as the ball crosses home plate is the measurement taken? Well, the answer to that, Rod, is it's taken at the front of home plate. And I'll have Tom, my cameraman, zoom in here. This is where Earl is actually adjusting the strike zone here on this computer, and this is actually the effect that it looks like when you guys are actually watching it at home on the screen. It comes up like this, so it's actually taken at the front of home plate. Drew, back upstairs.
And that's where it needs to be taken, Alana. Thanks for pointing that out, because that is where it is determined whether it's a strike or a ball. Not the middle of the plate, not the back of the plate, certainly not where the catcher receives the ball. It's where it crosses the front of home plate.
Man, I hate to tell you, that Drew, you're right 100% of the time, but a lot of I say 100% of the time. A lot of times umpires wait till it gets back into the backside of the strike zone. It's a weird deal. Don't ask me why, and they'll tell you that. It should be called out front an awful lot.
Yeah, but that's by rule, that's where it should be, right?
By rules, but I can tell you that how many times have you seen a slider that all of a sudden how many times have you seen the slider come and work all the way around the plate versus being over the corner of the plate when it arrives, and it gets called a strike, where the slider comes to here and it gets called that strike? And that's, that happens in baseball. But by the rule, right out front, the other side of this thing on the velocity measured off of this, it's measured on 2 different angles of cameras, one in the third base camera well, first base camera well, and numbers are mixed, and they come out with the true velocity of what they say is the truest velocity of a pitched ball.
Here's the 1-1 on Austin Kearns, and he has a base hit to right. Another 2 on with 1 out. With back-to-back hits, Zimmerman to left and Kearns to right, and that'll bring up Lasting's millage. Look at that helmet on Austin's head. Should he not go one size up, George?
Well, maybe it's just crooked. His head or the helmet. He's got more hair on one side where the ear is than on the other side.
Could be. Millage, a bunt single, fly ball center field, and he struck out. One and 0. Millage has a little 6-game hitting streak going. Eighth inning, tied at 2. There's a strike.
Not on a slider at 82. That first pitch received by Iannetta, it appeared to be that he got crossed up. He thought that ball was going to be a ball away from him. As you look on the strike zone here, where this ball caught, and it did, right on the outer part of home plate.
A line drive, caught, double play. Tulowitzki gloved it and steps on the bag, and Zimmerman is out there. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2 affair.
With convenient flights every day, Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to do business out of town and still come home at night.
Winston, I'm home!
With 15 daily nonstop flights from Denver to Phoenix and Las Vegas for just $79, Southwest is the nonstop leader.
You are now free to move about the country.
Amazing sports stories. This week, it's the tale of the boxer who refused to quit. Sunday on FSN.
Rivalry. Loyalty. Pride. The most anticipated college football game of the season is only on FSN Rocky Mountain. The Quest Rocky Mountain Showdown, Sunday, August 31st at 5, exclusively on FSN Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Rockies baseball on FSN is brought to you by Chevy. Chevy has 8 models. They get an EPA estimated 30 mpg highway or better. Chevy made for Colorado. By Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. By your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Isn't it time you test drove a Hyundai today? It's time to compare and save. And by Southwest with Southwest Airlines. Fees don't fly with us. Visit southwest.com today.
Ready, Nissan momentum shifter. Nissan, red.
All right, thank you. Our Nissan momentum shift of the ball game. 7th inning, Ian Stewart against Lannon. See you later. Long gone, second deck, 2-run shot off the bench, Ian Stewart. And a whole new ball game as Stewart, with his 5th home run of the year, ties up the ball game at 2. His first career pitch hit home run. New pitcher for the Washington Nationals, a guy the Rockies saw last night, Luis Ayala. Ayala pitched a clean inning last night.
Well, he's been in a lot of ball games. 56, that's pretty typical. 52 in the third inning, so run average at about 533. Been in a lot of these tied affairs with a record of 1-6. One of the guys that are coming up, Baker's never faced him. Holiday's 0 for 4, and Atkins 1 for 5. That's the numbers that Manny Active playing against the Rockies. And why maybe Ayala was chosen out of their bullpen.
Baker lined single to left his last time. He's 1 for 3. The Rockies have been limited to 5 hits tonight. 4 singles. And the home run by Ian Stewart.
This is guess the attendance night. I'm going to guess 27,483. What do you want to guess?
Somebody left, George. I'm going to say 27,482.
Nope, you're off by 1. They already counted and told me. Got it.
Last night, 33,000+. Here's the 0-2. Low. I'm going to write that down. Was that accurate?
It's right there.
Thank you.
Accurate from Dougie. Dougie's never wrong.
Always felt that.
Huh?
I've always felt that way.
Doug's never wrong. The hippie's wrong occasionally.
Is bounce to Belliard, who will flip to Ayala. Well, it helped there, George, that the 5'8" first baseman's a second baseman by trade.
He's always had great hands. I mean, that's one thing about Belliard. You know, he's going to catch everything that he can reach to. And he's going to be very accurate with his throws. He's very relaxed to any position you put him on the field. Swung a little late on this slider. 2 steps over, used that range. And a quick flip over for the out.
Here's Holiday, 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts for Matt. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, hitting .455 during that run. Boy, that location was missed by 3 feet. He wanted the fastball up and in, and the ball was almost in the dirt away. Out the knees, good pitch. You know, this ball game's on the bullpens. Nationals bullpen's been outstanding, leading baseball in ERA since the All-Star break. Hop up down the right field line. This, if it's fair, is trouble. That's a fair ball. Holiday is going to get the second with a fly ball double. You see that every once in a while when you have a big, strong guy. Everybody's so deep.
Well, deep, and they're going to play him to pull. They're not going to play him down the line, even though last night hit a double down the right field line. Matt Holliday, typically a pull hitter, so that's why they went that way. 61 hits up the middle, 38 to the left. It's 31 here to the right, make it 32 now. Drew chalk. I like it. They drew some chalk up out of that grass. A little white dust fly up into the air, just fair. You know, you got the winning run out at second base. You got Fuentes warming up in the bullpen. Just what the doctor ordered.
Well, Garrett Atkins will try to drive him in. Atkins 1 for 2 and a walk. Atkins faced Ayala yesterday, grounded to third. Let's see if that at bat helps him tonight.
1 for 5 in his career versus Ayala.
Village about 4 steps toward right center. And the left fielder Langerhand's way off the line. They're playing Atkins to go the other way. And they're trying to pitch him that way naturally. Pitch to the defense. 2-0. 3-0 with Chris Iannetta on deck. Ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Maniacta looks on as Iannetta comes up.
Trying to look to paint that outside corner. It is off the plate a couple of inches. Ayala wanted that call to strike, not going to get it.
Good speed at second, and Matt Holliday, he represents the go-ahead run as the Rockies hit in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, the left-hander, the one and only left-hander they have in their bullpen. Manning's warming up with Hop in the on-deck serve.
Foul ball. Now the bases are loaded for Hop. And the go-ahead run is 90 feet from home plate.
Well, at least Maniacta with nothing to do but to go down to his bullpen. Iannetta not crowding the plate at all. Takes a shot right off the forearm. And you like the Rockies' chances now.
When we come back, the left-hander Manning will be on the hill.
No, 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 no. Don't put them all in your mouth. Start small. You guys aren't ready for multiple sweets yet. Good job, Troy. Baby steps. You gotta put baby steps.
Am I supposed to chew it or spit it?
You're supposed to chew it and then spit it out. That's awful. Chris, no more seeds for you. Stick to gum.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Since I got in the loop, when I say now, I really mean it.
Since I got in the loop, I make my point way quicker.
Since I got in the loop, everyone can eat my dust.
Introducing new Quest Fiber Optic Fast Internet with connection speeds up to a blazing 3 times faster than cable. It's the speed you need for the life you lead.
What are you waiting for? Get in the loop.
Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
We're so fired. Relax. We'll give him the new fajita steak and jalapeno chicken melts.
Melts? That's your plan?
Here's where we spend most of our budget. Short-term investments, team-building exercises, company car, recruiting, and the off-site in St. Bart's. Any questions?
Get lost in melty cheese. Taco Bell's new fajita steak melt and chicken melt. Think outside the bun.
Here's the deal. 1 out in a 2-2 ball game. Bottom of the 8th. The Rockies have loaded up. Holliday, a bloop double. He's at third. Atkins walked. He's now at second. After Iannetta was hit by a pitch. Brad Hop at the plate against the left-hander Charlie Manning.
Well, nobody's with any big base hits with runners in scoring position. Here's the
play hit. It's going to drop. Here comes Holliday. Around third, here comes Atkins. Rockies have a 2-run lead. Soft single for Brad Hopp, but it worked beautifully. Full to Colorado.
You know, it all started, I've got that feeling that they could come back in this ball game after Clint Farmas made the great play at third for the double play with runners on the corners. And then the swing by Stewart, and then here you get this bases loaded. Manning, the left-handers had only hit $178. They did 2 home runs. The opposition with runners in scoring position only $133 against this guy. Hopp takes one off the knuckles and sends it into center field, and 2 runs come around that be charged to Mr. Ayala, and he'll get the loss if the Rockies can finish it off.
Tulowitzki at the plate, 1-0.
Hopp with 18 RBIs now since the All-Star break.
And he was one of the great clutch performers in all of baseball last year. And he's had a number of big hits the last couple of months for Colorado. You just get a good feeling when Brad comes up in key situations. (2-0) right now on Tulowitzki. Tulo, a base hit, a walk, and a strikeout this evening. He's hitting over 300 against lefties. (3-0). Seth Smith is out on deck. The 8-hole after the double switch is the pitcher's spot. So there's Smitty. And they're loaded up again.
All Maniac can do is sit and watch. I mean, as the left-handers come up, they're going to go back. Another left-hander's going to come to the plate, Seth Smith. I mentioned earlier, with Manning on the mound, he's 25-plus innings. He has walked 16.
You know, from the other dugout, George, you talking about Manny Acta looking on. What he did is the perfect move because he knows Clint has a string of lefties on his bench. He's got Hopp left on left, then Tulo. Then after that, he knows he's going to get a left-handed pinch hitter. And behind the left-handed pinch hitter, in this case Smith, is another left-handed bat, Stewart.
Well, you know you're going to bring in Manning, but the out he had to get was Hopp. That's why he's in the ball game. And not so much the Rockies bench, but it was to come in and get Hopp out. And if he's able to get Hopp out, then everything changes all the way around. Tulowitzki probably doesn't face him. They'll bring a righty right in behind him to get the third out if he would have been able to get Hopp.
1-1. Iannetta, Hopp, Tulowitzki all aboard. Only 2 hits in the inning, but the Rockies have 2 runs. And they're a hit away from perhaps a 4-run lead. Down in the desert, it remains 2-0. Arizona now in the 8th inning. Brandon Webb trying to win for the 16th time this year.
Brandon Webb being Brandon Webb, right?
Cliff Lee has 15 wins. The only other 15-game winner in baseball. 2-1 on Smith. 3-1. Manning unscored upon in 13 of his last 14 appearances. That's in there. Ball 4. That'll force in the 5th run. Here comes Iannetta across home plate. 5-2 Colorado. Manny Acta seeing this game slip away after his club enjoyed a 2-0 lead for the vast majority of it.
Well, Randy St. Clair is going to go out and visit with him for a minute, try to calm the nerves, try to get back in line with what they're going to do with it. There's still just one out in the inning. I mentioned, 25-plus innings. Saw Rivera's down warming up in their bullpen. He's ready to go to face the right-hander Tavares in the on-deck circle. But at 25 innings, Manning had walked 16. He's walked 2 in this inning.
Stewart, the offensive hero of this game, with the Rockies down 2-0. And having done next to nothing offensively, a pinch hit 2-run home run against John Lannon. Last inning. And he absolutely smothered that ball. He's got one career slam, if you're wondering. 2-0. Hop, Tulowitzki, and Smith on base. Here's the 2-0.
Well, made a big call there. A breaking ball and a 2-0 count, typically a fastball count. Normally, you don't see this type of pitch made from a left-hander, just foul tipped by Ian Stewart.
Good pitch to hit there, fouled off by Ian. 2-2.
Carpenter beating the Dodgers 4-0 tonight. Is that who that is? They may have came out of the ball game. Carpenter being a shot in the arm to that ball club. The St. Louis Cardinals, if he's healthy, he's pitching against Billington.
It has been a while, hasn't it? Chris Carpenter being healthy. Left field line and into the seats. Cubs won earlier 11-7 over Houston. Florida beat Philadelphia 8-2. Milwaukee, after an interesting evening, beat Cincinnati. Talking about last night, the scuffle in the dugout. They won 8-1 in Cincinnati. Prince Fielder, who was involved in that struggle with their little tussle in the dugout, hit his 26th tonight. And Stewart is gone. It's the countdown of the Quest Rocky Mountain Showdown, the annual battle between Colorado and Colorado State. It returns to FSN. It's Sunday, August 31st, 5 in the afternoon. Two tremendous schools, one great rivalry. The Quest Rocky Mountain Showdown only on FSN. That'll be a whole lot of fun. It is always a great football game. It has never disappointed. 2 outs, another pitching change. Willie Tavares will be the 9th man to hit when we come back. 5-2 Colorado.
This is great.
Finally relaxing. Oh, boy, I really needed this.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Wow. I could stay here forever. I'll be in the car.
Okay.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
2 Molson Canadians?
You got it.
Man, that's a good beer.
Lots of flavor.
Yeah, but it goes down easy.
It's from Canada. It is beautiful up there.
Well, it's like a postcard.
Good people, too.
Yeah, just good people living in that beautiful landscape, making this incredibly tasty beer.
That's poetic. Pass the peanuts.
Yeah.
with a big taste and a nice finish. Molson Canadian, an honest brew.
Getting my second cup of coffee.
Hitting the snooze button.
Eating leftovers.
Waiting on the cable guy. Probably watching reruns.
Yard work. You know how much I hate yard work. Laundry or something.
Picking up after you guys. I'd be getting up early.
Seems like I'm always paying bills.
Emptying the litter box.
What would I be doing if I was home right now? Wishing I was here.
Wishing I was here.
Wishing I was here.
Let's talk Colorado at Colorado.com.
Ian Stewart with a 2-run home run last inning to tie up this baseball game, and the Rockies have scored 3 here in the 8th. Raul Rivera comes on to face Willie Taveras. Willie's 0 for 4, 10-game hitting streak on the line. Bases full of Rockies. That's a strike. Carpenter, George, went 5 innings, no runs, 3 hits. And Taveras takes one on the arm, and here comes the 6th run. '22nd RBI for Willie.
Well, obviously, you can tell by Rivera, not anywhere near to what he's wanting to do. He's wanting to run a fastball in, got a bunch of tail and movement on it. Take the run, take the RBI any way you can.
Jeff Baker. Ball 1 on Bake. He's 1 for 4 tonight. He led the inning off with a ground ball to Belliard. The way the bullpen have been performing for Washington, George, I guess they were due for an implosion. Fuentes, with the 4-run lead, has taken a seat. And Rick Matthews watching Taylor Buchholz toss by himself now. Here's Bryant. 2-0, and it's fouled back. Right side and out of play. In that Cardinal game, a guy named Pujols has hit another home run. 22nd. Manny's got 2 more hits, 2 for 3 for the Dodgers. But they're trailing 4-0. Three and 1. Field line, and that's going to be in the seats as well. Foul. Just got to squeeze in another email. Kyle in Littleton, how long does it take to set everything up before the game and then to shut it all down afterwards? Well, in terms of shutting it all down afterwards, it depends if the truck's moving on. If the truck's moving on, everything's got to get packed up, all the cameras, cables. But setup, usually the crew calls 6 hours before game time.
Well, it used to be a lot longer when the cabling had to be ran from the trucks to the positions. That took forever. Camera guys were wore out pulling cables, trying to get it set up, and now the...
And ball 4, so Baker goes to first. Another freebie for the Rockies. Tulowitzki jogs home. Baker's 38th RBI. And Washington is just flat falling apart. And that is the 7th run. George, tacos for everybody. Who made the prediction during the pregame show?
I don't know. I missed it.
Didn't look good for 7 innings. But now Everybody gets tacos tomorrow. 4 tacos for $1 between 4 and 6 at all your participating Colorado Taco Bell locations. Here's Holiday. Is it Huey, huh?
Huey's hungry, got a big family. He's just hoping. All right, now you go in. No, now you go in.
No, Jeff's too honest. He wouldn't do that. 0-2. Fell the text. I guarantee you Huey just texted. He goes, I did. You know, he couldn't even wait for me to. He had to let us know.
Got to jump to the front to get the pat on the back. I see how it is.
Yeah, Huey, I'd already taken care of you, buddy. Give me a moment.
Let it tack on a little bit more here.
7-2 Rockies. Got the first 3 runs, Manning the last 2. And this is bounced to second. And I think he's safe. He is. Matt Holliday with a leg hit. Bonifacio threw it over. And you're watching Holliday busted up the line. It looked to be close. And I think Tim McClellan got the call right. Another RBI for Holliday.
Yeah, great hustle up the line. He realized where this ball's hit, more up the middle than it was, with a high hop to get over and plant on it and then try to force the arm over to the plate, over to first base, see if it's there. Holliday with that late stretch right here. You betcha he got it right by about a half a step. Matt checks out McClellan, and it is a base hit, the dugout. Excited about the hustle of Holliday and another run tacked to the board to make it an 8-2 ball game. For Holliday, it's 68 RBIs now.
Atkins, a slow roller on the right side. Finally, Washington will get to the dugout. 6 runs on just 3 hits. 4 walks, a couple of guys plunked. The Rockies will take it. They lead at 8-2, go to the 9th.
He's the biggest celebrity in the world. But is he ready to lead? With gas prices soaring, Barack Obama says no to offshore drilling and says he'll raise taxes on electricity. Higher taxes, more foreign oil. That's the real Obama.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Hey, Dex.
Hey, Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Whoa, 2 of you. Who do I ask?
Whoever. Doesn't matter.
I need to find a good veterinarian.
Dog or cat?
Iguana.
Okay. All right. The closest veterinarian with a herpetology background, lizard doctor, is Dr. Todd Eisner. Shall we go to his website?
Thanks, Dex. Bzz.
Can we go to the website? What?
Dex the Book and DexKnows.com. The most used, most complete local info any way you like it. Dex knows.
Rockies leading 8-2 now. Top of the 9th. Boy, has this game flipped around in favor of the home team. Let's get into our studio right now. They're elated over there, led by Tom Helmer tonight at the Chevy Sports Desk. Tom?
Yeah, Drew, what a great night. A lot of great efforts out there. We'll be in the clubhouse for post-game reaction, also on FSN Live. The word is in on Brandon Marshall's suspension. We'll talk plenty about that. And I'll tell you what, our crew has felt a little slighted tonight because we've seen everybody in the truck. So here's our crew tonight. You can see they're all waving. Like Tim Ring is working hard on the phone there, trying to get something done. And he is a hard-working man, that Tim Ring.
You know what that is?
He's aggressive. That's back to the ballpark.
Hold on, Tom. Tom, you with me still?
Yes.
That's false hustle. Ring's got jeans on, the shirt tail out. Is he even working tonight?
Hey, it's real hustle because he's wearing jeans. Usually he's in shorts, so
that's right.
that is authentic hustling right there by Tim Ring.
Well, it's a cooler night, so Ring's got the jeans on tonight instead of the Bermuda shorts. I guarantee you there was no one on that other end of the phone, George. What do you think?
I'm betting with you. I think you're about right.
Taylor Buchholz will handle the 9th inning. Rockies up 8-2. John Lannon has to be shaking his head. He could not have pitched any better tonight. And then he gives up the 2-run pinch hit home run to Ian Stewart. He leaves. It's 2-2. And Ayala's got the hook for Manny Acta. And Manny Corpus, George, has a chance to get a win.
Yeah, it'd be nice here. And then that Buckles come off, finish this thing off pretty quick for him. And what a nice turnaround win this would be.
Two 2-0 on Jesus Flores. That's high, 3-0.
Pretty nice 8th inning there, huh? 6 runs on 3 hits, 5 walks, 1 strikeout, and 2 hit batsmen.
That looked like a backlot game on March 1st down at spring training. On 4 pitches, Buchholz walks Flores. Here's tonight's Land Rover legendary performance of the game. It was 2-2, and Brad Hopp came up in the 8th inning, left on left. Charlie Manning with a breaking pitch, and Hopp loops into center field to score 2. Big clutch hit there for Brad Hopp, our Land Rover legendary performance of the game. Belliard, a couple of singles tonight. Tomorrow, George, if I may, I'm going to peek ahead, if that's okay with you.
No, can't. Don't put that down. No.
We got Jeff Francis for the Rockies. What do you know about him?
Well, he's left-handed. He's about 6'5", 6'6". He's from Canada. He's very good. He won 17 games last year. His shoulder's pain-free. And rehabbed very well in his last start at Tulsa with 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. He'll go against Odalis Perez.
I've heard of him also.
Yeah, he's 6-7 in his career versus the Rockies. 4-8 on the season here. 3-5 at Coors Field. There's a lot of nervous energy there for Francis. You know it is to come back and start him.
But you know,
he watched this club win. He wanted to be a part of that.
I talked to him about that today. I said, is it going to be like opening day revisited? And he laughed and he said, you know, I think in a lot of ways it will be. Belliard is gone. Buchholz with the strikeout. 1 out. That'll bring up Langerhans.
Well, 8 hits. They had 2 of them in the ball game. Goes to Belliard. Here's that hard breaking ball that Belliard's appeared to think that behind in the count 0-2, maybe fastball. And he tried to go down and get it. Was not successful. Pete Orr's in the on-deck circle to pinch hit.
In the zone, 0-1. Breaking pitch for a strike. Well, I had a lot of fun tonight. I know the folks in the truck did, and hopefully at home, in addition to enjoying the baseball game, we don't need to intrude on it, but we try to be educational. You bring 150 ball games a year to the folks in the Rocky Mountain region. We wanted to show you and give you a little more background on how a ball game is presented. So hopefully it was enjoyable. Langerhans has gone 2 outs. And I know I speak for George in this regard. We have the utmost respect for all the folks on our crew who put in long, long days, really worked their tails off to bring the best coverage of the Colorado Rockies they can to all of you at home.
No, they do. They care about the jobs. There's the hook on the Hyundai cam. That's the thing. They want to do the best they can every single night, treat it as a major network production, and they do a great job doing it from top to bottom.
Pete Orr with a strike. field. Tavares and Holiday. Willie's got it. And the Rockies come from 2-0 down late to win going away 8-2. The Nationals' 4-game winning streak is now history. They haven't won 5 in a row since September of last year. And the Rockies back on the winning side of things. 8-2, the final. Manny Corpus gets the win. Luis Ayala takes the loss. And it's a 1-1 count so far in this 4-game series with Jeff Francis going tomorrow. Good night at the old ballpark. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody, but don't go anywhere because the Chevy postgame report starts in moments.
Suit up for the 2008 season at your Colorado Rockies dugout store. The official team store has it all for the entire family. 5 Colorado locations to serve you. The Colorado Rockies dugout store. Wear the team.
Introducing Turbo HD by Dish Network, the only 100% HD service, featuring 1080p VOD and the best HD DVR. Packages start at just $24.99 a month. Turbo HD by Dish Network.
Office Liquidators has Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices on new and used office furniture.
Truckloads of quality office furniture from .coms arrive weekly, all discounted 35 to 45%, including Colorado's largest selection of new premier mesh back chairs, starting at just $199.
Check online at OfficeLiquidators.com for in-store coupon savings up to $500 for your office, your community, and our world.
Office Liquidators, making a difference since 1985 at 6th and Sims in Lakewood.
It's on everybody's mind these days. So trade up to better fuel economy now at the Chevy Model Year-End event. Trade up to Cobalt XFE with better standard highway fuel economy than Corolla and Civic. Get $1,500 total purchase cash on most 2008 Chevy Cobalt models. Chevy, made for Colorado.
The Rockies with an 8-2 win. They get 6 runs in the 8th inning off just 3 hits. They'll take it any way they can get it. But a big victory for Colorado out at Coors Field as they even that 4-game series at a game apiece. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chevy Sports Desk. Tom Helmer alongside Jeff Houston and Joel Klatt. Great win for the Rockies.
Well, you're thinking about this going into the 8th inning, and you're just tied up with this team. If they would have lost this tonight, it would have been a heartbreaker.
Hey, kudos to Jorge De La Rosa. Gave his team a chance to win the ball game, even though they were scuffling for a long time tonight.
Brad Hopp, a big 2 RBI single in the 8th inning that launched the scoring and put him up 4-2. Right now, he's with our Alana Rizzo.
All right, thank you guys very much. Brad Hopp joining me now. And Brad, take us through that clutch 2 RBI hit that you had. It couldn't have come at a better time. It proved to be the difference tonight.
No, the guys getting on base, Holiday with good aim there on the double, and then Atkins and the guys getting on. You know, it's good. We needed guys on base. We weren't going to score until we had guys on base, and then you know, like I said, with Holiday had good aim on the double. Well, I fortunately had the good aim on the single. So I mean, it was good to come through there. Then the guys behind me really broke through it.
You know, an interesting couple of games between you guys and the Nationals. Yesterday, it seemed like they capitalized on all of the Rockies' miscues. Today, you guys repaid the favor and were able to capitalize on the things that they did wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? There's good pitching today. Both sides, you know, the starters today, Lannon and De La Rosa really threw well. 2 lefties that were throwing a lot of strikes. And it made it tough today. So I think both teams battled through. Fortunately for us, we came through there at the end. You
know, you guys had that 10-game road trip, came back in a little sluggish yesterday. Every one of you said it was sloppy. Well, you admit that. Today was a game, I think, or in your opinion, would you say, when you're playing a team like the Nationals with the record that they have, is this the type of game you think you have to win?
Yeah, we needed to win this game, regardless of who we were playing. You know, those guys are Major League players, a bunch of quality players over there. You know, they got some good young players, and regardless of who we were playing, we needed this one. being back home in front of our crowd and all that, and being back as far as we are to come through today was a good step for us for the next couple months.
All right, Brad, thanks very much. Enjoy this one. Appreciate your time. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Alana and Joel. We talked over the weekend. You had mentioned sweeping the week. And they didn't beat the Nationals in that first game. And I'd hate to say this was a must-win, but they needed this win.
I did have to cancel the order of those shirts, so no longer am I going to be wearing Sweep the Week shirts. But this Colorado Rockies team had to get back on track at home, especially with Brandon Webb pitching against the Pirates down in Arizona. Probably going to win that game. You were going to lose ground to the Arizona Diamondbacks if you don't win this game, especially in front of the home fans. You got to give them something to cheer about. The Rockies did that from the 7th inning on.
Well, how about the two guys tonight, two left-handed guys getting big hits off of left-handed pitching. I mean, so many times you hear about people saying, okay, well, you can't hit lefties, can't hit lefties. Well, you know what, folks? Sometimes that's overrated. Tonight, Ian Stewart, a pinch hit, 2-run home run to tie it up in the 7th inning. And then, of course, Brad Hopp in the 8th inning with the bloop single, scoring 2 runs to make it 4-2. Lefty on lefty, I like to see it. I was a left-handed hitter. Good for those guys.
Yay, lefties.
Yay, lefties.
Let's bring George Frazier into the conversation out at Coors Field. And, George, let's start with that 8th inning. It starts off with a bloop double by Matt Holliday, and it just snowballs from there. When it's all done, hey, it's an 8-2 ball game.
Well, 6 runs, 3 hits, 5 walks, a couple of guys hit, just your normal inning, right?
Sure.
I don't think so. Hey, by the way, Joel, my week starts on Tuesday. So Sweep the Week shirt still might work, right?
I like it.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want you to have to wash your car with him forever. Had the double down the line by Holliday. Yep, that dumped in, and then another base hits. And as things followed and transgressed, you could just see this thing falling apart right before your eyes. And the Maniacta obviously couldn't be happy. Clint Hurdle had to be as happy as he could be to see this ball club come back. Because, again, you don't want to waste a start that De La Rosa threw out there tonight and come up empty-handed.
Well, I talk about De La Rosa for a second, George. I called him on the pregame show Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because this guy has as electric stuff as you're going to find, and then other times you just can't seem to find the plate. But tonight, he goes 7 innings, his longest outing of the year, 6 Ks, only 2 walks, 91 pitches in those 7 innings. He needed that to stay in the rotation.
Well, I think the key for him was the first pitch strikes and then able to retire guys to lead off innings, prevent big innings, and I think that was one of the big things. When he did get hurt, he let the leadoff man on. I'm big on that fact that you just don't let him start big innings. And he did a good job of that. He had good command of a slow curveball today, then all of a sudden buzzed the fastball on Rivera once, got a pop fly at first. He pitched as well as did Landon. Pitched very well for Washington, too. It was a very good game to watch for 7 innings and a good win for the Rockies.
Hey, George, thanks for the tip. Those shirts will be on eBay tomorrow, obviously.
I just don't want you to throw away them dollar T-shirts you bought.
Hey, I appreciate that. I want to talk about the 7th inning when this game started to turn around. Clint Hurdle goes out and argues the bunt call, and then Barmes looks like he gets Belliard at third base on a tag, but then he makes a great backhanded play for the double play. It seemed like that kind of turned the ball game around. Ian Stewart comes up in the bottom half of that inning with the big knock. Momentum changed.
Well, I would agree. I mean, I think the whole thing, Joel, for me, when it all happened and transpired, it's those deals as a player. You kind of have that gut feeling. It's the guy that did the one-handed catch on the sidelines that kept 2 feet in and it got you the first down, and boy, something's big going to happen next. Well, it happened big, obviously, in this game, but because of a first and third situation, they get up out of that, come into the dugout. I mean, you've seen it 1,000 times where somebody comes up with a huge hit, and it was Ian Stewart doing it against the left-hander on a ball out over the plate.
George, don't forget to get your tacos tomorrow, 4 for $1.
Well, I'm going to take Drew's kids so I can get 12. Huey told me how to do it. Huey said you just stack the kids in the car, you run them up one at a time, get them what you want.
Don't give my secrets away, George.
That's all they say, right? 4 for $1. Thank you, George. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right. George. Time now for our Chevy drive of the game. It came in the 7th inning, courtesy of Ian Stewart, a pinch hit. 2-hit home run ties the game at 2. It's his 5th home run of the year, hit it off John Lannon. That is your Chevy drive of the game. And boy, talk about timely hitting. It doesn't get more timely than that.
Well, he had been struggling just a little bit, and that was part of the reason why he was not in the lineup, and that being Ian Stewart tonight, because you think about what he's been able to do. Clint has not been afraid to start him against left-handed pitching. Tonight he said, you know what, he needs a little bit of a break, slow things down, watch the first 6 or 7 innings, and then he goes out there and gets the big hit, the pinch hit, first one of his career. And I always go back to the fact that his dad's left-handed, so growing up, he always got to face his dad, who was a left-handed thrower. That can't hurt.
And I'm always impressed, Joel, by pinch hits because it's the first time you see the pitcher. You've been sitting on the bench for a couple hours at that point, and you have to come in and make contact, and he did exactly that.
And credit Clint Hurdle with knowing that he's got to go with a big bat there and look for that big swing from Ian Stewart. But Ian Stewart does a great job staying back on that ball and then driving it out of the ballpark because John Lannon was unhittable before that point. Get a spark plug off the bench, and Stewart plants it in the upper deck. Big swing of the bat for the Colorado Rockies and Ian Stewart because, like Jeff had mentioned, he was struggling a little bit. Huge for the Rockies, though, to change the momentum of that game.
Well, let's take a look at the current NL West standings. These are up to the second. Arizona, a winner over Pittsburgh again. Colorado not benefiting by the fact that the Diamondbacks are playing Pittsburgh. Los Angeles still in action. So at this point, Colorado still 8 games back, which makes a win like this all that more important because you can't afford to lose any more ground at this point as this season shortens up.
Well, you keep talking about tomorrows. Well, there's always, you know what? The tomorrows are shrinking. You got to worry about today, and that's exactly what the Rockies did.
You got
a lot of games against the West coming up, too. And so you don't want to fall behind before you can gain some ground on them by playing them night in and night out.
Well, Clint Hurdle had a rough night, arguing out there a couple of times. Things didn't seem to go his way early on, but his team ends up with an 8-2 win, so he's got to be happy about that. Let's hear what he has to say out at Coors Field.
Go through the videotape. We can probably come up with one. I've been here a while, so that was a strange inning, no doubt about it, Patrick. All started so innocently.
You've preached patience at the plate. Is that an example of what you were looking for, guys making them make pitches?
Well, I think that's all part of it. That's a byproduct of it, not firing quick, trying to get good reads. The pressure's on the pitcher. Anytime a reliever comes in and he's dealing with inherited runners, it can be a sticky situation. Some guys are better at it than others. But you got to make them throw strikes. We were able to do that, and we were able to take what was given to us. You talk about the game flipping on a pitch. Their young pitcher, Landon, he pitched as good as ball game as I've seen through 7 innings, exception of one pitch. One pitch. And that was enabled us not to capture some momentum and to, take that forward. But you never can ever say that you got it figured out in this game. I don't think you can. I hear people say it all the time, or people attest to it, but right there wasn't a lot going our way. Not a lot of offense happening. Our guy was out there pitching well, but it's 2-0, and we haven't really sniffed anything a whole lot.
What is that Stu situation of the left-hander? He didn't take a lot of that ball. He got most everything he could get on that ball.
Oh, he did. He squared it up. It was flush barrel. And he's capable of doing that. And to see it left on left in his first career pinch hit home run, appropriate, very appropriate, good timing.
You basically just had the left-handers on the bench other than Torrey.
Pretty much always when a left-hander starts, we've got 4 of them on the bench with Torrey, if he's not in, or it's Iannetta, either way.
So Stu's power at that point, what are the things you're looking at?
Well, I look at a couple things. Number one, his matchups. So far, he's had some success against left-handers, so his confidence got to be okay. Plus, I was thinking of making the move and pushing the pinch hitter up if we were still going to be underneath him and down a couple runs. That way I can get the pinch hitter up in the 8 spot if we're going to need it off their closer later. So it just made sense from that standpoint for me, those 2 points right there.
What does it tell you about a kid like Stewart, who you mentioned before the game? He's been struggling a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. What does it tell you about his mindset, his talent, when he can come in that kind of situation and do what he did?
Well, there's always a degree of self-confidence. There needs to be a degree of self-confidence, because if you don't have that, very rarely do you get good results at this level. Regardless of what's going on and how people are playing and the performance levels that come out, as a player, you've got to have some self-confidence. How can you expect anybody else, the manager, the coach staff, to have confidence if you're not carrying yourself in a proper way? He carries himself in a good fashion. This time that he's come back and revisited us, there's been a little bit of a transformation. I think the set down early, telling him what was to be expected, the opportunity was going to be expanded. I think that has helped. But also, he's moved upon it with performance and embraced it. And the teammates have embraced him, knowing he's playing a larger role. And you come up there, what's at stake. It's getting late. You're probably looking for a base hit. I'd bet a lot of money that he probably wasn't thinking of hitting a home run. He's probably just thinking about squaring the ball up where it's pitched, putting a good at-bat out there. That's what most of them do when they come off the bench. And he's able to catch a ball out in front of him a little bit and barrel it out of the ballpark. So good for him.
Clint, defensively, you guys have been strong for the better part of the season, minus the miscue tonight with Garrett, the 5-3 double play for Marmy to first after that safe out call with Belliard at third. Nice to see Clint being able to, I mean, to me, that's a rare play.
It has happened against us just about twice in some form or fashion. We've never pulled it off, so it was nice to be on the other side of it. And actually, I got blocked out of the play, and then Varmy said, he thought I had him. I said, well, I wish you would have jumped up and down one more time, and I would have reacted more efficiently. Well, I know. When you get to look at it 3 times, it's pretty easy to tell. But just to keep the mindset, De La Rosa to stay focused, make a pitch, Barmas to make the following play, have the mindset to make the tag, and then get the throw off as quick as he did in some type of fashion towards the base. That's a big-time play, and we needed it.
Clint, just because De La Rosa pitched 7 innings and gave up 2 runs, but he had a couple situations that he's been known to let the game get out of hand that he responded to. Would this be his most impressive that you've seen?
I would think it could be categorized that way just because he was down on the score the entire time, pretty much, and kept us close. It's what we talked about before the game, a minimum of 5 and give your team a chance to win the game. He gave us more than that. Pitch count was in a good place. He was aggressive all night with his fastball and mixed in his other pitches. Got some swings and misses. Didn't get rattled. I mean, 3 of the 6 hits I think he gave up, were fisted. The balls were up a little bit, but they were fisted. They weren't barreled into the outfield, especially in the 7th inning, both hits. So his focus was good. He persevered, he battled, and he kept himself in control of what he can control. That's the biggest challenge.
It's like the fisted.
Clint Hurdle, talking to the media out at Coors Field, talked quite a bit about Ian Stewart and his home run, saying that I don't think he was thinking about a home run. He was thinking about a single. And when you're hitting, what is the difference between a single and a home run? I know 200 feet would probably be the answer. But on the bat, what would be the difference?
The bat angle and also where you hit it. If you catch it on the sweet spot of the bat, that will make it go those extra 200 feet. But he's right. If you go up there a lot of times thinking, I'm going to hit a home run, what ends up happening? Whiffing. You either strike out, as you said, Tom, whiff, however you want to say it. Actually. Or you'll just get really long with your swing. You'll end up popping the ball up. If you think about just squaring the ball up, trying to get a little backspin on it, that's when you start to hit the home runs. He got a lot of backspin on that ball.
I'm impressed with his approach because he was paying attention to the game in the dugout, which a lot of young players don't do. Ian Stewart was doing that because John Lannon was only giving the Rockies 1 strike per at-bat. He was nibbling on the corners and off the plate all night. Ian Stewart knew that. He knew that if he saw a ball in the zone, he needed to put a good swing on it, and he did. Lefty on lefty, first pinch hit home run of his career.
Worked out big, tied the game. The Rockies added 6 more runs.
Cushion.
Yeah, they needed it.
Oh, snowballing effect. We got more to come on the Rockies post-game report. Also on a report? It's a new show we've got. It's fresh. Okay. But FSN Live will be coming up after that with more on that. Here's Tim Ray.
Hey, Thomas Holmstrom, here's what we've got simmering in the back. More Rockies clubhouse reaction to be sure. Plus, Tim Neverett is chilling in China. We'll check in with him. And Tom, the NFL has some new rules for fans. Boy, that Roger Goodell is quite the taskmaster, is he not? It's all coming up in just a bit.
I really miss Paul Tagliabue. Even Pete Rozelle.
He was a nice, warm, genuine man. With Brillo head hair.
I'm picking up on your sarcasm. All right, thank you, Tim. When we come back on the Rockies post-game report, we'll hear from Jeff Francis, who will make his first start since June tomorrow against the Nationals. The Rockies post-game report is brought to you by Chevy. Did you know that Chevy has 8 models with an estimated 30 miles per gallon highway? Chevy, made for Colorado. And by Dex. Dex knows, your most complete up-to-date source for local information. Dex knows. By Quest. Get in the loop and change the way you connect with the things you love.